Hey folks, this is Matt, aka Ramble Raft for Live, and I am joined with.
Hey, how y'all doing out there, people? I'm Efree. This Efree Sierra 12 is here to stay.
And basically, what we're doing is we know that the Nightmare on Elm Street remake is coming out very soon.
I think the 30th, April 30th. Yeah, it's more like this.
So, I mean, I'm guessing we'll talk about that last.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But the good stuff first.
Okay.
Is, of course, the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. We're going to take a look at each film.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for those on my last channel, we heard some of our thoughts on the BS cast, the slasher films. But this is our time. I mean, this is a franchise that I grew up as a kid. It's the first horror film franchise, first horror film villain.
Of course.
Like before Jason stuff. Like as a kid.
Oh, you found Freddy first.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a kid, it's weird saying I grew up with Freddy, but.
Hi, Matt.
I think we'll repeatedly say Robert Englund is the only Freddy group.
Of course, I think, okay, granted, I can understand some people were upset about the Friday the 13th remake or whatever, but in defense, I could say that over the years, with exception to Kane Hodder, it was played by different actors, who brought their special touch to Jason, but when it comes to Nightmare on Elm Street, that's very touchy because Robert Englund made the character what it is.
I know people will immediately say, and we'll get into this later, oh, Robert Englund's too old, he can't play it.
Exactly.
Well, don't do the movie.
Don't do it. Don't touch it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Exactly. I know. I remember, I think, a guy people that I subscribed to recently, thanks to my buddy over here, Matt, Dead Pit, those guys, CK, Uncle Bill, very good videos you guys do out there and stuff. And they did a review on the Blu-ray of the Nightmare on Elm Street, and I think they had said something about how they were talking a little bit about the remake, not too much. Something about, I guess, the reason that they're not going with Robert Englund because they said toward the last term of the franchise of Nightmare on Elm Street, a lot of people were saying that Robert Englund kind of brought a campy vibe to the Nightmare on Elm Street movies and stuff, and I don't think that was Robert Englund's fault, really. I mean, that was with scripts and writers and direction, that whatever they took it, whatever, and stuff like that. And maybe that's why they're doing the remake. But I feel it shouldn't be fucked with because that's very touchy, But I know there's gonna be someone that's gonna come out and say, "But the movie's not even out yet." Dude, I've seen the teaser, I've seen the trailer, I've seen TV spots. The more I see, even the posters, the little billboards they're showing, I'm still not impressed. Nothing has convinced me,
Exactly. I mean, I agree. And here's the thing, folks. Those are advertisements. They're meant to advertise. They're meant to pull you into the theater.
Yeah.
Because of what is on the cellophane, what's on the screen. And nothing makes me want to see it.
Exactly. There's no motivation. And the funny part about that is, like, I remember when the promo, a little bit off topic, the promo of Expendables came out, right away people were bashing it left and right for the promo, right? But then when Nightmare on Elm Street promo came out, or teaser, everybody was like, oh, but why are you bashing it for teaser? They all bashed Stallone for the promo. And they had nothing to say about that.
They said it was low budget.
Yeah, right.
DVD movie.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, when you give your feelings about the promo they have for Nightmare, it's a different reaction. Strange people, those highbrow. Hey, if you're looking forward to it, it's cool, but just don't bash us about it. That's all. You want to waste your $20 or whatever to go see it? Be my guest. That's it. I'm keeping my money. Exactly. You were saying, buddy?
The best way to do is start at the beginning.
Of course.
And there's a really interesting story how it came about before we get in the first movie, of course.
Oh, about the Wes Craven story about the Cambodian teenager?
Yeah, I mean, I guess Wes Craven, he was like a teacher, professor, and he read these stories about these, like Efree said, Cambodian refugees.
Yeah.
They, I think, fled to America.
Yeah.
and a lot of them suffer through these really horrible nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there was where you talk about a kid who was afraid to go to sleep. He couldn't go to sleep for like a week or so.
Yeah.
And he would actually have stuff that he put in the film, like the coffee pot and the closet.
Mm-hmm.
That was based on real life.
Yeah.
And one night he fell asleep, and the parents were like, "Oh wow, I'm glad he fell asleep." Put him to bed. Then in the middle of the night he wakes up screaming, and they get to his room, and by the time they get to his room, he's dead.
Wow.
It's a very creepy thing.
It is, man. Fuck.
It's like, I guess like the doctor said, there's this phenomenon called Asian death syndrome. I actually looked this up.
Wow.
It's like, if you're like between 19 and 50, I wrote this down
Wow.
for research.
Okay.
1957, and to be a sudden explained death syndrome and or Brugada syndrome.
Wow.
And Brugada syndrome is a genetic disease that gives an increased risk of sudden cardiac death.
Well, heart, you're scared to death, literally, pretty much.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's just a really, the fact that it happened in real life, it's really creepy.
It is. I mean, I remember you were telling me there was that lead guy from Darkness Falls. You said he had passed away in his sleep. I don't know if that was that same syndrome.
Oh, the actor.
The actor, yeah.
It's not this. No, it's more. I think it's. I should keep talking. I'll just look it up.
Oh, sure. I remember there was something like that Matt had told me one time about the actor who was the lead actor in that movie Darkness Falls, which is a good gem. Yeah.
Cheney Clay or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I got the DVD right next to me here. Let me just.
Oh no, it was sleep apnea.
Sleep.
And that's.
Wow.
It's a sleep disorder in which, when you're sleeping, you pause and breath during sleep.
Yeah.
And so it got to a point where you're sleeping, and then basically it's like your body sort of has trouble breathing.
Ouch.
Even if you wake up.
I know you got those ones that happen sometimes, but it happens, I guess, when your body doesn't sleep too well sometimes. That is when you sleep or you nap and your eyes open up but your body doesn't move. Real creepy vibe. It's like you get it for a split second or so until your arms or whatever moves, and then then you're like then you wake up. It's real creepy. I know a couple of times that happened to me, like when I rest my eyes sometimes or whatever, like gets a little slow sometimes where I work, something like that. But that's because I'm sitting in an uncomfortable position. Sometimes the blood don't flow well when you have your leg up or something, Yeah, it's like that's creepy shit. I tell you, woof. You don't want that, man. It's your eyes open up and you can't move.
And I know, like, there was another thing where when Wes Craven was a kid, I think he saw like a bum outside.
Oh, with that sweater? I think you told me about that one. This little.
Yeah, like he saw a bum like outside, and Wes Craven was like a kid. And he's like, "What's going on? What's this?" And he would like go back. He's in his home, and this old-looking guy just kept walking by his window, and like each time it would seem like the guy would come in closer until he was like right next to the door.
Wow.
I think he got his brother, but then when they got back he was gone, and that was sort of an inspiration for Freddy Krueger. This dirty, somewhat old man sort of thing.
I think that was the one you were telling me about, that he was wearing that old man was wearing that same sweater or something.
I don't think it was the same sweater.
Or with the hat or something. I know it was something like that. I don't know if you mentioned
something
it.
With I think it's sort of like the hat.
The hat? Oh. Wow.
But I mean, it's a lot of good special features on. I know, like on the DVD box set, like the bonus disc, they took some good information on that.
Oh, there is. Oh, I thought all that stuff was like on that other disc, the one that you got.
No, if you buy the box set, you get a 8th disc.
Oh, those features. Oh,
has interviews with assortment directors and stuff.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Now, the only good thing, like I think we were talking about, that could come out of the remake is that new documentary that's coming out, I believe, May 4th.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to
it. Which, for what I heard, it was like 4 hours long. I don't know because I've never heard of a documentary that long. It'd be great though.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe 4 hours, like 2 hours, and then 2 hours for bonus features, maybe. But
yeah, sometimes they're slick that way. They might add the bonus features in it. No way.
Yeah, it deserves it.
Yeah, I mean, if they can get everybody, I heard they're getting Tuesday night and was it Lisa Wilcox to come in there, right, for interviews?
I know where you're going with it.
I didn't say that. See, you said it, but hey, why not? Lesbians! Which I don't mind.
People think we're joking, but yes, they were in fact lesbian lovers at one point.
Yeah, but was it in the tabloids or something like that? That would be a funny thing for them to address. Well, I don't know, out of nowhere, Tuesday read the paper and she called me up, or I was in the bathroom washing up, and all of a sudden...
I'm sure someone would be like, we're making it up, though, so...
They're probably like, oh, we just did it for publicity, yeah. And stuff. They with the cameras off, she would give a little wink to Tuesday.
No, I mean, they think that we're making it. Like, I just made that up.
Well, I think, well, who was the person that started it first?
Well, I don't know who started it.
I remember you told me it was something on the Saturday Nightmares, right? On that, when we used to go on Deadpit or whatever. And somebody mentioned it. Yeah, so we're giving good shout outs to Deadpit guys out there. Yeah, hopefully they get to listen to this and stuff. Yeah. Keep up the good work, guys. That's all. Because they can hear me. But anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, I guess we can go into the first movie.
Okay, of course, yeah.
Classic.
Boom, doom, 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 boom, boom,
Yeah, by the great Charles Bernstein.
Oh, yeah. Great score, man. I mean, I love the way the movie opens up, where you see it's like, I guess, some guy there, and the way it's like a small screen, and then you see a guy building something, and then sharpening a blade. Then you got that score, bam, 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 dun, and like real, so you see him putting their fingers through there and hammering. You're like, what the fuck is he making? Also, you see the glove, and then it goes A Nightmare on Elm Street, and like, wow.
Yeah, that little like really horrific sting.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're fucked. You know, that
Yeah.
sort of kind of sound effect.
Yeah.
And I mean, the plot, everybody pretty much knows the plot, so
Yeah.
maybe not the sequels, but the plot is. And actually, I think we're going to have a special guest.
Yeah, a special guest is about to join us, folks, who just came in on the last minute. And stuff. Hey, Mike, what's up? Mike, by the way, I want to let you know that you're live with us over here, because we are covering the whole franchise of Nightmare on Elm Street, and you just came in on the part where we're talking about the very first movie of Nightmare on Elm Street. Folks, we want to introduce you, our special guest. No, you're on it already. You're live. Yes.
Oh, whoa. I'm so surprised.
Yeah, because he came out of nowhere, just out of thin air, so now he's live. So if he has to go to the bathroom, he's fucked. Now he's better squeeze those butt cheeks real tight.
I don't have a laptop, so...
Okay, he take it with him to the bathroom, whatever. Yes, I think yeah, okay, like that. Okay, Mike, so... Now, we were just talking about... Go ahead, Mike. Matt.
Now, we just said we had mentioned, of course, how, you know, the whole idea came about with the Cambodian refugees. And we're talking about...
I've never heard that idea before, so what's that all about?
The whole origin of that with the Cambodian refugees.
Idea.
Oh, okay. Cambodian refugees?
Yeah, they had come over and... So, quick down memory lane.
Yeah, rewind. Go ahead.
I read an article about Cambodian refugees.
Yeah?
And how one was so scared to death of going to sleep, he stayed away for like a week. They actually had a coffee pot in the closet. And in fact, he finally went to bed out of exhaustion. The parents sent him to his room, like carried him to his room. Okay, everything's fine. He wake up screaming, and they got to his room and he was dead.
Holy shit.
You never heard that story before?
I remember hearing something briefly about that.
Yeah.
That was based on real life because I mentioned before the medical authorities had the phenomenon as Asian death syndrome.
Yeah. They used a little snippet of that in the novel Wes Craven's New Nightmare by David Bergatino.
Oh, yeah? Oh.
Which they used a little bit of talking about that. It
Okay.
was an interesting book because it talked about, well, when we talk about New Nightmare, it doesn't talk about that.
Alright.
But yeah, I mean, it was like immigrant families who died in the middle of nightmares.
Yeah.
So,
Jeez.
Yeah, creepy stuff. Telling you, man. That's why you thought it was safe to go back to sleep. I'm telling you. Oh, man. So now,
we have the first movie.
Yeah, so what we're up to now. Yeah.
Yeah, the first movie's a classic. What's funny about, I'll tell my thoughts on how I first saw it, which is funny.
Okay.
My dad didn't always, he always was a journeyman, it's all over the place. So he originally actually had this, it's funny, like he lived in a motorhome briefly for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this old TV in there. Actually, no, I'm getting confused here. I went over to visit my grandparents in Arizona.
Okay.
They were in Arizona, and on TV was actually Elm Street on Bravo.
Okay.
So it's the first time I was introduced to the first film was on Bravo, with tons of commercials and shit. But I was so enthralled by it that I was like, I didn't start at the beginning. I think it got to the point where she finds the glove and you see the whole thing with the boiler room and stuff like that. And so I didn't catch the whole film right away. Like I caught maybe like the last half of it.
But you were able to see the whole movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that made me want to go see the whole film. So,
okay, cool. Yeah. I saw this film at a very young age. I believe.
Did you have nightmares about Freddy?
No. But ironically, no, which is strange. I didn't have nightmares about Freddy, believe it or not. I don't know why. Maybe because the way, you know what it is? Did you ever have a movie which you watch, right, and for some reason the lead actress remind you of somebody you knew?
Yeah.
Family-wise, maybe? Yeah, well, yeah, so that's the, because the lead girl, Heather Landing-Cap, looked like an aunt that I had that passed away around a little bit after around that time and everything.
Oh,
so
that's kind of eerie then, I guess. It's kind of eerie.
No, not that eerie. I mean, not that eerie because it's the same way. Because you know, she looked like Nancy, right, from the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
But the way she acted, she reminded me of Linda Blair's character in Savage Streets.
Oh yeah.
So it was, you know, she was no pushover. You know, real tough girl. So what happened was, you know, every time when you see a character like that in a movie, especially in a movie like this, you root for the character. You're like, run.
Exactly.
You know, like I do when I watch the Hills Have Eyes remake, right, Matt?
Yeah, I killed me in the ass every week.
Well, Nancy is definitely one of the stronger female heroines.
Because she's the one that I guess, I mean, everybody, I know some people, when it comes to the fan base, they usually talk about Alice, but Alice, in the fourth film, she kicked ass.
There would be no Alice if there wasn't Nancy, so you gotta look at it that way.
Exactly.
No Nancy equals no Alice.
Yeah, so I saw this film.
No Ripley probably means no Nancy, Alice. Blah, blah, blah,
yeah, but don't forget, if no Laurie Strode, no Ripley.
No Laurie Strode, no Ripley.
No Ripley either. Hey, if there was no Ripley, there'll be no Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor. See, it goes in circles. We do 6 degrees as Kevin Bacon of all this shit.
Real quick, what's funny is I always thought about this. I actually saw the film Dreamscape first, and then I realized the release date, like the year was released the same year.
Okay.
It's really interesting because Nightmare on Elm Street was released in 1984, and Dreamscape I think was released a couple months before. But it's really interesting to see the films back to back sometimes because you know it's the same kind of thing, dreams.
Someone stole the idea from the other.
Yeah. We need to call a lawyer here. That's it.
I don't know which came first, but you look at it, Tommy in Nightmare on Dreamscape, he has blades that come out of his hands in that one sequence.
Oh, there was the David Patrick Kelly, yeah.
Yeah, there's one sequence where he has blades come out of his hands and he grabs this guy's heart out. So
yeah, real creepy scene. They're good.
Interesting.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like Freddy claw hands precursor to, I don't know.
I saw this film, I believe, around age 7.
About this time, so, yeah.
I was around, I think, 7 or 8 years old when I saw Nightmare on Elm Street, and I just got into this. Yeah, but I was able to put up with this. I don't know why. I was able to see this film. This film didn't scar me, believe it or not.
I got scared shitless by like, you know, Child's Play 3 when I was a kid, so, you know, I can't really say anything, so.
But you don't have to be a kid to get scared shitless. Look at me. I'm a grown man. I don't want to watch Maniac, so that tells you something.
Cannibal Holocaust? I'm pretty sure you don't want to watch Cannibal Holocaust or Gutter Ball.
No, nobody does. You don't even want to watch Gutter Ball either. You don't want to watch it either, so there you go.
I first discovered it.
How you discovered? Cool.
I had the first 6 films on VHS.
Oh,
and
great.
I had part 1, 2, and 3 taped on one.
That's pretty cool.
And then 4, 5, 6 taped on another one.
Okay.
And I can't remember which was the first one I saw.
Was that like Encore or HBO or something like that?
No, we didn't have cable.
They did it the old school way. Yes, they did it with just
CBS and ABC. So
it was VHS to VHS type of stuff, right?
Edited versions, right?
Well, I never saw movies on TV. I saw them on only rented VHS tapes all the time.
Yeah.
I know this is illegal, but
yeah, but that was back then. Now I don't think they run after you about it.
They just moved the magnetic strip. I always remember that. They just like removed the
but that wouldn't
strip.
work, because sometimes then the movie, when you play the original tape, will start jumping. You see, I know about this story.
That's not your problem, man. You don't rent the movies from that rental place anymore.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
just have a mystery person on their hands that just ends up returning VHS tapes that are fucked up.
This was before computers and stuff, so they couldn't, keep track of who was returning shit back.
They couldn't burn them or anything like
Yeah,
that.
now they run after you, they'll throw you in the jail. Forget it, you don't want that. What are you here for?
Well,
Burning dust?
Only if you sell them openly, like being an idiot at the Mexican flea market and sell them openly, at the kiosk desk. Then the FBI comes in and ruins the party.
But we did that a lot because, like, a bunch of tapes, like one we had Maximum Overdrive, Night of the Comet, and Lost Boys.
That's an awesome trio. Well, think about it.
We had Watchers 1, Watchers 2, and... No, we had Watcher 1, Watcher 2, and
that's cool.
Watchers.
I had strange double features. I remember we had Maximum Overdrive, and after Maximum Overdrive, you had Vice Squad.
Well, how about this? Ghostbusters 2 and Home Alone 2 on the same tape.
I could beat it. How about this? On the same videotape, talk about strange double feature. Life Force and Future Kill.
How about this one? Few Good Men and Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I can't top that. I don't know. Okay, but anyway, we go back to the topic at hand. The Nightmare on Elm Street, I love this film. It's Dark Freddy. Freddy was still in the shadows, not so much with jokes. And everybody remembers that scene where you see the girl. No, not that. The girl, the one that plays Tina.
The girl that gets carried up the wall.
Yeah, but the opening scene where she's dreaming, and you see Freddy with the long arms. Come here, Tina. Come here. And stuff like that. Oh, God. And then he comes out, zooms in with his face, with the way he's done with the voice. I think the voice... This is God. And it's actually Robert Englund's voice, because I know as the sequels will go on, the voice will get deeper at times.
Yeah.
But this one in the early films, you see, is more his voice, which makes it more scary.
This is the one where she, rips his face off, right?
Yeah.
His skull.
That's kind of creepy, that scene there.
It always reminds me of family opera type stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Robert Englund did play family opera.
I remember that one. He did that.
In my opinion, with Joe Sholin.
It was not bad. It needed a bit of body count, but it wasn't bad,
But even, the effects were done simply, like the arms lengthened, they just had
wire.
The face coming through above Nancy's bed, which looks great.
I love that
exactly.
Sequence. That's one of my all-time favorite sequences in horror films. When you first see that sequence, you're just stuck to the movie.
Yeah.
Because you just see this, and then she puts the cross back up. I think.
Yeah. And it's done low budget, but it looks great today.
And so they don't even touch upon that though in the later films. I think the whole religious aspect, except maybe part 5.
And part 3 they do that, because in part 3 he goes to holy water. Holy water.
They kind of throw it out the window in later installments.
Yeah.
Think about it. You think that the cross is some sort of parody of.
Of course, you mentioned Johnny Depp. Of course, his death scene.
Yeah. It's memorable.
Well, Johnny Depp,
gallons of blood.
This is one of his first ever roles.
Yeah.
And as Glenn.
Yeah.
When he's just watching TV and falls asleep. First of all, I find that scene funny. I'm not saying because of the blood. I'm just the whole thing that he has his TV just laying on the bed.
And then the speakers and everything go down this hole. And with the score, ding, ding, then the blood pops out. The way it's filmed is beautiful. I seen a book.
The book on his It does. It's a pretty terrorist.
It's like the fucking bit's eating me.
Yeah. The closest death scene you come close to that in later installments is in part 4. What happens to Joey with the waterbed, having a wet dream. You know, that's the
wet dream.
Yeah, but that's worse. It's brutal. It's simple. You know, and
I really like the another creepy scene in the first one that really sticks with me. The whole thing where Nancy is daydreaming about her friend.
Yeah.
She's in the body bag.
In the body bag, yeah.
And all you see is like spatters of blood, like in the hallway.
Yeah, the janitor who also undresses like Freddy.
Yeah.
Exactly. In the hallway.
That wasn't a janitor. That was actually, I think, the school, the girl, the monitor. Yeah, the monitor.
She was a girl, but I didn't know if she was a...
She was actually the girl that doing the merits of you record running in the hallway. Cause I know in Scream they have a funny thing they do in Scream, the first Scream film. Yeah. What else was Craven? Playing the janitor?
Yeah, it was Wes Craven's movie.
Yeah, it was Wes Craven.
I didn't know that.
What's crazy about this movie now I look back at it, it's basically return to form for Wes. From, you know, he did Last House on the Left, which is really interesting. Last House on the Left.
It is.
Backstory real quick is that Wes Craven quit teaching at college twice. First time he tried to quit and go to California and get some
he did
job.
Hills of Ice 2 for cash.
Well,
after this, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he started his career on a whim. He just said, fuck it, you know, I know the first time I quit school and went to try to do this movie thing didn't work out. I know somebody over there. Maybe he'll get me a job. I'll try it. You know, what the fuck? You know, you gotta at least do something. You know, you gotta go out there and at least try.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy gave him, he knew Sean S. Cunningham, became friends with Sean S. Cunningham, and he ended up giving him he learned how to edit. He started editing, and then Sean thought, hey, we need a director for Last House on the Left. Do you want to do it?
And they have little tidbits, because I guess like they show The Evil Dead.
Yeah.
And The Evil Dead, in the basement, they show a ripped poster of The Hills of Eyes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The reason they did that was because in Hills of Eyes, there was a ripped poster of Jaws. Okay. This is their message. They think, okay, Jaws is just a movie. We're terror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it
really gave him, that's sort of what gave him recognition. And then he did Swamp Thing, and then he Hills Out by Part 2. So if you look at the movies before this film, and then, you know, Swamp Thing, for example.
Yeah, it wasn't really in horror tone. This one brought it back to the horror tone, pretty much.
Like, whoa, like, you know, we thought he might have fell off the wagon with that one. And
it's a slasher film with a different idea.
With dreams. Nightmares.
Because we all have to dream.
Exactly.
Very well executed, too. I love the performance of Ronnie Blakely as her mother.
Yeah.
The drunk,
torture performance, traumatic performance.
Yeah.
She really does look like an alcoholic.
The Helen Lanning camp really drew me in, because a little bit of the performance of her, you know, being very tired, scared to sleep, drinking coffee, her friends being killed off one by one, and then finding out that there was a secret that what her mother and her father and other parents have done.
The whole sequence, she goes down
to the basement and, you know...
There's a deleted scene.
Is it a deleted scene?
There's a deleted scene where you find out that Heather Langenkamp had a brother.
Is the scene actually
Freddy?
Where was this scene? Is this scene in that box set, or is it in that one you got?
Box set. It's in that guy sent, and it's actually on YouTube.
Really? Wow.
You can find it on YouTube. It's a deleted scene where basically the mom was talking, and she was talking about how they had burned them, and not everybody, basically all of her friends had siblings that are no longer with them because Freddy took.
Yeah.
And sort of the kids here are they're the siblings of Freddy that took. Like, Nancy had a brother.
So it was more connected to why Freddy was really.
I don't know whether it need to be deleted because that does add.
It fills in the gap a little bit, even though it's not really. It doesn't. I mean, if it's not in there, it's sad, but I still love the film. But I think I would love to see it put back in there.
I think the film is a flawless example of indie.
Well, one flaw is the ending.
Okay, I agree.
I gotta admit, it's not exactly flawless.
But it's not Wes Craven's fault because
it was something between Bob Shaye and him, an argument or something.
Bob Shaye wanted the ending where Freddy was driving the car, and then Wes Craven just wanted the ending where you don't know if it's a dream. Nancy gets in the car, and they just drive off, and I think you have the little kid.
Mother getting pulled in between.
No, the mom wasn't pulled at all. It was just a question mark. Them driving off, and you see the kids going 1, 2, 3.
That would be a lot. That's a lot creepier. To
Yeah.
Just go to that. And I've seen that.
It's a question mark. That was
that
what's
alternate ending.
Okay.
I think is in the lab.
Now, who was the fucking blame for the cartoon ending? The cartoon being pulled out?
When we think about it, that is really cheesy. I mean,
Well,
first
Bob,
of all,
I
he
think-
didn't do a very
I
good
like Bob.
job with the.
I'm blaming Bob Shea because he wanted Freddy driving,
Okay.
and they fucking.
Oh my god! I just realized something. Bob
What?
Shea was also producer for Extra, and he wanted the ending, the weird ass ending for Extra too, because originally Extra was a shitty movie, but the ending of Extra originally had was the mom's just in the middle of the field, just fucking dumbfounded about her parent, her
So
father.
it's another example of Bob Shea putting his own 2 cents and not knowing what he's doing.
Exactly, because in
Okay.
Extra, okay, it makes sense that she's just there, just staring at the sky. I mean, that would be like, what would you feel if your husband just turned into an alien, grabbed your son, turned him into an alien, and flew off in a spaceship? You'd be like, holy shit.
But the ending of this was basically a compromise
Okay.
that Wes Craven had to do. He didn't want Freddy driving, but they had to have Freddy in there somewhere, so they had
Well, I
that.
don't mind that, except the whole thing with the mother getting pulled through the window looks so fucking fake. It looks like a
It
blow-up
does.
doll. It looks like a fucking blow-up doll.
If I-
That's exactly what CK and Uncle Bill said. It looked like a blow through the hole and pushed it. They said that.
Oh.
I remember they said
If I-
that. Yeah.
If I have one flaw, it's that.
Yeah, that's the only flaw.
Right,
But
definitely. And the climax is really well set up. When she
I
gets
love
thrown
that
in the
whole
water.
thing where Nancy
It's
does
like
the
hammer.
traps and you have the score
Yeah,
playing.
she's reading the manual.
For the
she's reading
traps,
the
and she
the
takes
manual.
these shotgun buckshot cells and she puts it in
Yeah.
the light bulb, and
Yeah.
that whole third act to me is one of those things where you like run, that's right, get him, and then you laugh too because Freddy gets to come up in. I love that scene in the basement.
And John Saxon.
Yeah, what do you think of John Saxon?
John Saxon did a
Yeah.
pretty good job. I mean,
Yeah.
I liked him. I mean, he's always been one of my
Originally,
favorite
you know,
actors,
like,
going back
come
from Enter the
on,
Dragon.
really.
You know,
He's like, originally I know they're thinking that the one kid that
Rod.
was with the
yeah, Rod was
he
the
gets
thing. That's what I was
So
thinking.
strangled in the prison.
strangled.
Yeah, they made it look like he actually hung himself. When
Yeah.
Freddy did that. Yeah.
He did it. But sooner or later, John starts to realize there's something wrong. Saxon starts to realize something wrong with his daughter, and her mother is so wasted all the time.
Yeah, and they got bars on her windows and everything.
I love that sequence where she finds out she's got bars on her windows. And
Yeah.
she's all like, what the is this? Bars
Yeah.
on my window.
But the whole thing where when she brings Freddy out of the dream, and now
Yeah.
Freddy could get hurt. To me, when he goes through those traps, every time he gets hit, I'm clapping. Even to this day.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
go through that door, yeah,
Oh.
and then he screams, oh, I'm like laughing, yeah. And then when she runs into the basement. This is my favorite part.
Turning into,
I love that. She runs down to the basement and he's in pain. I'm gonna kill you slow. And then she comes out knowing she throws, I guess, kerosene on him. Catch! She throws it on him. And then she lights him on fire. And then he runs after her with flames. Now, that's a scary scene.
Yeah.
She runs up the stairs, head to handicap herself, running up the stairs.
As we all, if you haven't heard about the burning, some guy actually got severely burned.
So those are tough. Those fire stunts, and the guy did a great job. And landing on the mother, that's
Yeah.
kind of sadistic too.
Now, the whole thing what I liked about was he chases her up the stairs, right? He chases her up the stairs. Sorry, Mike. Chases her up the stairs, and then I guess she slams the door on him. I love the way it's done. He goes upstairs for good. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
The floor just turns, the stairs turn to like, is, you know.
So in the
turn to-
dream sequence where she saw Rod in the
Yeah.
cell, she's trying to run, and it turns into sort of. So you step on each stair, and it turns into this
Mud.
sort of blob.
Glop, yeah.
Each taste she goes,
It's
it's
a
like
very effective sequence.
sort of like,
budget effects as
something
well.
cooking with or something.
Yeah.
Did Kevin Yeager do the Freddy effects in the first one? Or
I know in
was
the
it, no,
sequels, but I'm not sure about the first movie.
no, it wasn't him. It was some other guy. I can't
But
remember. his-
well, interesting little tidbit. Another was Johnny Depp. Reason he got the role, he had he went to accompany a friend,
Yeah.
Jackie Earl Haley,
Oh my
to
god!
audition.
Get out of here.
Audition, and yet eventually got the part of Glenn.
Jackie Earle Haley auditioned for Glenn, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because Johnny Depp went to accompany a friend, so he could audition.
I mean, that's that Jackie Earle Haley's Glenn.
Well, Jackie Earle Haley, I mean, a lot of people, I don't know who knows this, but he was a child star. He was in the Bad News Bears movies, the original ones.
I know he was a child star.
So I guess he was trying to, and he did that movie with Dennis Quaid, Breaking Away with Dennis Christopher.
Was he the one, the kid?
Yeah, he was that skinny kid in Breaking Away, the one with the pimples in his face, with the long hair.
No, I mean Breaking Bears. Was he the kid that was swearing all the time? Was that
yeah, he was sort of the rebel.
He was the one with the long hair. His name, I think, was Kelly. Kelly, the character was. Ironically, is he Kelly?
The guy was a good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, that's
so back to talking about The Burning real quick. Tom Savini talked about his interview on the DVD.
Okay.
That there's this guy doing the stunt for The Burning, the guy lit on fire, and the guy actually got pretty badly burnt because it didn't set it up properly.
Oh, no.
So, I mean, it's sad. A lot of that does happen. When you're playing with fire...
Chances are you can get an accident. Kane Hodder! Even Kane Hodder, I believe some parts of his back, he's got third-degree burns.
You know...
Jason himself, Kane Hodder.
That guy named David Miller did the makeup.
David Miller? Wow.
Based on burn victims.
Wow.
No, he did based on burn victims. Not as the total extent, though, as the new film, which is...
Buttface. We'll get to that till the end. We got 9 movies to do, Mike. So.
What do you think about the sweater? It's green and red.
It actually, in a strange way,
weird combo.
A weird combo, but it works in a creepy vibe. I don't know why with the hat.
I remember something that Wes Craven told me in an interview on the Labyrinth disc on the special edition, Nightmare on Elm Street. He talked about the fedora.
Oh, the hat?
Yeah, but when he was a kid, we mentioned that.
Oh, we mentioned that, about the old man, the hobo.
Yeah. When he was a kid,
Yeah.
Exactly.
But, I mean, the first time on Elm Street, for me, I mean, it's a classic.
Yeah.
Other than the ending, which is a perfect example of studio interference.
Exactly.
Bob Shea did it again. He's done it once.
He's done it twice, a bunch of times. He did it to Jeff Burr in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. He's the one that cut the movie so bad that you couldn't get the whole thing,
And the whole Jeff Burr's like, you stupid son.
No, Jeff Burr was more like, take my name off the movie. What? Take my name off the fucking movie! Yelling at Michael DeLuca, but that's against Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But that's an example of Bob Shea being a dick, pretty much,
Well, I mean, it's original to classic. It's definitely the darkest.
Yeah.
It's definitely the darkest Freddy.
Yeah, I love it. Heather Langenkamp, the cast, Robert Englund.
It's very well done. The score is, of course, memorable.
Yeah.
A lot of great stuff. A great iconic killer.
Yeah.
Even the nursery rhyme. 1, 2.
Yeah.
Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, make crucifix. 7, 8, better stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again. That's one thing I know you talked about those kids when you reviewed Nightmare on Elm Street one time, Matt. He said, "What's up with those kids? No one talked about those kids."
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe they could be
the first victims of Freddy, pretty much.
The kids they kill you. But I'm like, well, why the fuck are they seeing it? Like.
I'm like, help!
I don't know.
Don't fall asleep! Help! Like that,
Like, what is up with those kids? They never.
They're lost souls. They're lost souls.
I mean, I know they do talk to Alice in part 4.
They even talk. Wait a minute, they talked to her actually in part 3 too. Remember in the beginning of the movie, she's rescuing that little girl, Patricia Arquette's Alice. Not Alice. Talking about what's her name? I forgot. Christian.
Yes,
Christian, Patricia Arquette, yeah, that's right, yeah. But I love Nightmare on Elm Street. It's a classic. Robert Englund's made a mark on this movie.
Budget, right? How much?
Like $1 million.
Yeah. And it made a pretty good.
Maybe $2 million.
Here's a funny story about Nightmare on Elm Street. Check this out. They originally pitched this movie to guess what studio, but they turned it to Paramount.
Oh.
And they said no. Meanwhile, Paramount had gotten to all that trouble with Friday 13th.
They just took a shit on their own franchise, so we don't really. I mean, Paramount just doesn't.
Fuck Viacom. Fuck Paramount. We put it up live right there.
So basically,
any final thoughts on the first movie?
I love
all I
it.
say is that it's a fucking classic. It should not be messed with, but already it's being messed with, so whatever. But it really is the film that put New Line Cinema on the map. If it wasn't for this movie,
Yeah.
I don't think New Line Cinema would have been really at all what it is now, or what it was, or what it could have been. I really don't know what to say. But, you know, because all they did was Alone in the Dark, but that's
why they call it
The house that Freddy built, pretty much, right?
It definitely is the house that Freddy built.
And,
So,
well,
it's definitely one of the top independent horror films out there. It's not really that big of a big budget thing. Shows you what you can do with a small budget and still be scary and still be effective. And, you know, up to this point, people didn't know Robert Englund is some crazy guy unless you watched some sequences in Toby Hooper's Eaten Alive, which is a pretty terrible movie. But up to
So
this
don't
point,
watch it.
they saw him in V.
I think that's what got him, yeah. I remember I heard that story. They saw him in V. That little tiny character he played, which wasn't even a scary character, just his look or
I
something.
think he was tired of it, too, because he was always this good guy or something like that.
He was always playing kind of like, I don't know, the good guy. Or I remember he did a lot of stuff with Jan Michael Vincent.
Though, too, folks. If you know about Robert Englund's early career, he was in Dead and Buried by Gary Sherman.
Yeah, Stan Winston, early effects.
Creepy townsfolk people, but definitely Nightmare on Elm Street is definitely one of my top favorite horror films. It's my favorite franchise. So I really admire.
Nightmare on Elm Street, to me, this movie, I watched it at a young age, and movie never scarred me or nothing like that. Thank God. But you know, I love the characters, the pace of the movie, the frightening story about this boogeyman in your dreams that could kill you. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
You know, and you know the kills are creative, and once again, it's a cardinal rule you should do with a slasher film: put characters you give a shit about.
Yeah.
And I gave a shit about Tina, even though she's not in the movie that much. I gave a shit about
I really like Glenn.
About Nancy and Glenn and Rod, you know, and then now you see this whole movie from. At first it starts out with Tina, you think it might be her film, then it goes to Nancy. And now you don't want nothing to happen to this girl now, because now you figure your star is pretty much killed off, and you root for her all the way to the end.
And
I love
a good message for insomnia.
Yeah.
Think about insomnia. The whole thing, like, why do people? This is an interesting thing. Like, why do people insomniacs? Why can't they sleep? Like, and they touched upon this in part 3, but. It's an interesting look at that, especially when they put her in the doctor's office or whatever, and the sensors and stuff and all that stuff, and she brings Freddy's hat out of it.
Yeah. And you would think with that scene right there, they would have no doubt but to believe her. She came in the room with no fucking hat in her hand.
Where the fuck did you get that hat?
What she did? She put it in her cooch? Yeah. I remember you said that in your review, man, from her cooch.
Where'd she get it from her ass? Did she hide it up her ass? Like, what the hell? White's brown?
And she even says it. Fred Krueger, Mom. Fred Krueger, you know, and you're with her throughout the whole movie. And, you know, I got involved in the film. Robert Englund, a presence to be reckoned with in this movie. And good casting choice. I couldn't think of anybody else who could have pulled off this film. I mean,
he's a particularly unknown actor, but he was a Shakespearean. He actually had training.
Yeah.
And
what I like about Robert Englund is that over the years, he still keeps a good relationship with his fan base. I mean, he goes to conventions. He's actually a funny guy. You know, he talks about little stories. Like, people asked him, have you ever been scared of anything? And he tells a good story about how on the first night, in the first movie, when he had the makeup on his face, and it was like so many hours working with the movie, and he couldn't get no, I guess he had rested his eyes, so he laid in a hammock. And right over it, there was a mirror right there. So he slept for a bit, and somebody had woke him up. He opened his eyes, and he forgot how the makeup looked. He looked at himself. He says, to this day, that image of him opening his eyes in the Freddy makeup in the middle of the night creeps him out sometimes.
Yeah.
No bullshit. It's actually a good story he talked about. And I love that about Robert Englund, that he has a sense of humor about it. You know, usually, like, you got some of these guys, like, I know Bruce Campbell is a dick, everybody says, you know, but Robert Englund, I guess he realizes, you know, okay, I did this. I played a famous Hollywood monster.
He hosted the short-lived horror Hall of Fame.
Nightmare Cafe.
And Horror Hall of Fame.
I used to watch that. It was a once a year thing. They get like the award to best horror films of that year. I don't.
That one.
Yeah, he was a good host. It was fun and everything, you know.
And everybody should check out Nightmare Cafe sometime.
Nightmare Cafe was actually very underrated. I remember they used to give it on Sci-Fi Channel. It had only a couple episodes, I think, and stuff, but it was very good. Robert Englund, I mean, to me, he would always be Freddy. The same way back in the days, during the 30s, people would say Bela Lugosi is the real Dracula, and Boris Karloff is Frankenstein. But to me, Robert Englund's always Freddy, you know. And that's why I love the film.
That's why his unofficial middle name is Robert Freddy Englund.
Yeah.
I mean, when he directed 976 Evil in the trailer, it says Robert Freddy Englund.
But that's why he directed that movie, yeah, with Stephen Jeffries. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I give the film 10 out of 10. I mean, the last part, okay. I mean, it's very cartoonish, but you know, so what happens once again, like Matt said, when the producers and when the committee gets involved in doing your fucking movie, which is no good.
That's not Craven's fault.
Exactly.
You know, Wes didn't want that ending.
Exactly.
So, you know, you can't be faulted for that. I would give it 4 out of 4 stars.
All right, pretty much. All right.
2 thumbs up.
Okay, Matt.
2 Freddy gloves up. Whatever. I mean,
ha ha ha! Freddy gloves. Ha ha. What do you gotta say, Matt? Final thoughts?
Well, my final thoughts pretty quick. It's classic, imaginative, lots of stuff going on, likable characters.
Exactly.
You know, Johnny Depp being pissed he can't get any Poontang.
Of course, I don't blame him. Heather Langenkamp was hot, man. I don't blame him.
So
She still is hot.
And he's hearing the other couple have sex, and he goes, "This sucks."
That sucks.
A lot of imagination. I mean, a lot of great classic images. This is God, and the body bag sequence.
Yeah.
Dream sequences of an idea that you could do a lot with.
Yeah.
You go a lot of directions.
Yeah.
And you did a lot of stuff. So.
And creativity as well.
Other than the ending, which is based on studio interference.
Yeah.
I find nothing wrong with the movie. It's a classic.
Yeah.
And Heather Langenkamp did a great job with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the sequel now.
Now, sequel.
Jack Shoulder, which is supposedly considered the gay Nightmare.
Well, I would have to say I had this on the same videotape, double featured, Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street 2. It never bothered me. The second film. The second film I felt was a good idea. It was a good idea. I mean, granted, I agree that it changes the rules of the game a bit, but this is before there was any rules in the game, so they were trying to, go somewhere different, right, Matt?
Exactly. I mean, Jack Shoulder had previously directed a film
Alone in the
Dark, with Dwight Murdoch Schultz. I call him Murdoch because he's H.M. Murdoch from A-Team. The original.
Later on, direct the Hidden.
Later on, direct the Hidden. Jack Shoulder.
Like, when Donald Pleasance is like praying, and he's like,
in Alone in the Dark,
Yeah.
But this film, I mean, the plot's pretty simple. You have years after the first film, you have this guy named Jesse.
Yeah.
Mark Patton moves in.
Has Mark Patton done anything after this film?
Say that again?
Has Mark Patton done anything?
Done anything after this film? I'm just curious.
I don't know. Thankfully, I know he's on that new documentary that Elm.
Yeah, that's really.
I'm curious to hear, his story about when he was on Nightmare 2.
This film gets, shat upon a lot by a lot of people. Sometimes fans of the series, a lot of critics.
The whole idea of the film is basically Freddy wanting to get into the new world. Not the new world, but.
The new world with Colin Farrell? Oh, really?
Oh, no world with Indians and shit. No,
just imagine Freddy in the old times with Indians and shit. That would be funny.
Yeah, City Squaw, sit on my nuts. But anyway, Mark Patton, I mean, he... all this crazy shit's happened in the house, and basically Freddy wants to use his body in that great line, "You've got the body,
but I got the brain." Yeah.
To use Jesse's body to enter the real world.
Yeah.
And the reason Mike said, most people call this the gay one, is just you have scenes like first off you have where he finds the coach and
Marshall Bell. from Total
Yes,
Recall.
It's an S&M gay bar. Folks.
Yeah.
It doesn't cover it
And
up
then
at all.
basically, Marshall Bell finds Jesse there and has him run laps. And then he's showering, and then Marshall Bell hears something. He gets stripped naked. I don't know why Freddy needed him naked.
Yeah, it makes no
I
sense.
don't know if Freddy's
Maybe Freddy gets a sick. I don't know.
on the he's on a two-sided street or something.
Freddy.
And
He plays for both teams. There you go.
And whip him with a towel.
To death.
That's one of the strangest death scenes. In
Well, he didn't whip him to death. He whipped him with a towel and then slashed him with his claws.
Yeah.
Slashed him with his claw.
But
Now, the one part that I really see it
Yeah.
is his friend. His friend, he's one of the most. How can you be your friend if he's bashing you, pulling down your pants, and being a jerk? I mean,
Ron Rustler?
Yes, it's like.
They didn't pull his pants down.
Friend?
I think they had a fight and they were playing baseball, softball, or something. But I think they ended up hanging out with each other, you know.
I always remember the sequence where Mark Patton, Jesse's all freaked out about what's happening to him, and he ends up trying to get in and go into his friend's room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say
Grady! That's Grady. There you go, folks.
Here's the thing, folks. What he's describing, you have a scene where he has this girl, Kim Myers.
Yeah.
He's ready to go to town, but the Freddy Ton
comes out.
Then he runs to his buddy, a guy, and this is dialogue like, "There's something inside me that wants to get out." He ran away from a girl to hang out with a guy. That's why you have.
And then also look at the guy's posters all over his room. He has a giant poster of the mall in his bedroom.
And of course, we all know the guy, Mark Patton, is actually gay.
Yeah, he came out of the closet. I mean, there's nothing wrong with him, with anybody coming out of the closet.
That, but if your friend has a giant poster of the mall in his bedroom, I mean, you're not supposed to have giant posters of male artists in your bedroom. Unless it's, I don't know.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Wait a second. When I was a kid, I had a giant poster of Rambo 3. What are you trying to say?
That's fine. I'm talking about male singer, artist singer.
Male singer? Okay. Okay.
Did he have his shirt open or something?
Yeah, he has shirt on. No, it's just his face. It's just his giant head. The mall's giant, hairbrush, the freaking hairstyle all had, it's a never-ending story.
But I guess the moral of this whole story is that it has these gay overtones.
I expected them to start dancing around and saying, "Hush, just too shy, it's just I
mean, like I know everyone was going to say, I know it has these gay overtones, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't really care either.
Yeah,
I feel it's very.
It was doing something different, and I respect it for it. And plus, I love the third act, in which Freddy, I guess there's a party at the girl's house, right? And Jesse comes back there. Yeah, and Jesse comes back there and he turns to Freddy.
How come he has all these powers in real life? He can disappear. I don't know. Maybe he could. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, they were changing the rules of the game.
Because there was no rules in the first movie.
There was no rules. That's the whole thing.
The rules in the first movie.
And Freddy is actually going ape shit, fucking people up left and right at the party. He's not telling jokes or nothing.
I know Wes Craven was a little mad at that scene because he's like, well, wait a minute, Freddy's pretty small and all these kids are taller than him.
Yeah, but when you're crazy, dude.
Exactly, that's what I thought. I'm like...
I mean, I don't care. When you're crazy, you're crazy.
He'll slash your throat out.
And it's still a very dark Freddy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very mean, very nasty.
He looks more witch-like. Kevin Yeager, I read an interview. He wanted to make him look kind of a hook nose kind of thing with the second one. Sort of witch, sort of demonic witch, sort of.
I love the look of Freddy in that transformation sequence. What happens to Jesse in Grady's room?
His hand.
Yeah, his hand, the claws start coming out of his fingers, and then he comes, and it's a simple effect. It's just a dummy, but that gets cut open. Then you see Robert Englund coming out, and the way Freddy looks is very frightening. Yeah. Yeah, then when Freddy looks, what?
If he comes through his chest, like, what happens to Jesse? Does Jesse... I mean, if you're ripping through the guy's chest, does that mean you're ripping through his heart and his lungs and his stomach?
Well, it's just, he's been replaced. It's just like at the end where now Jesse rips out of Robert Englund. I
I think it's a very ballsy movie for the time.
It is.
You know?
It was a very inventive way to show transformation instead of just dissolving.
I really liked it because I love the way the transformation was.
And you know, once again, you have characters you care about. I gave a shit about Jesse. I gave a shit about, you know, and it was fucked up the way his father, Gallagher, I think his name is? Clue Gallagher, that from a Feast, any fans of Feast, remember him?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the way the whole thing, the whole thing is that they end up in the Nancy's house. That's what that house is, basically.
It's her diary.
They find the diary, Nancy's diary there, you know?
Although I know it's weird post that you have a little parrot that goes ape shit.
Yeah, it burns into the light bulb.
That is literally one sequence that I just don't care. It's just fucking.
It is a silly sequence. I mean, a parrot going ape shit and blowing up.
And what about that sequence in which he falls asleep in class, and I guess Grady pulls a joke on him, he ends up putting a snake on him, and then the teacher yells at him for screaming in class. I'm like, you fucking kidding me? I would have cursed the teacher out. He put a snake on me, you fuck! You because I want to scream. You know? What the fuck, you know?
But another problem with the film, though, is just like the first film, you have this tacked on sequel ending kind of thing.
Yeah, because Bob Shea was more in control, and he got Freddy driving in the beginning.
Yeah.
He wanted Freddy to drive, now he drove a bus.
Yeah.
Which I didn't mind at the beginning.
Yeah.
But at the end, you have this sort of...
The hand comes out of the front.
And you never know what happened to those characters.
Yeah, like the characters disappeared.
They just end up on the edge of a cliff somewhere. In the
beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end, it's just he goes through Kim Myers' friend.
Yeah.
And basically you drive off into the distance and you never hear about the characters.
Again.
Because that's one of the reasons why I like this movie. I like Mark Patton.
Yeah.
Kim Myers, I don't know who said she was ugly. I don't know what.
She was hot, man. Kim Myers was hot.
I'm just saying that's what someone said. I went, what?
She's like, you know, not a lot of girls you're gonna meet are freaking like supermodels, folks.
But she's good.
Put it this way: Kim Myers is the type of girl you can see yourself getting hitched with, or that she'll wash the shit stains out of the underwears, you know.
The
girl next door, you know. Stuff like that. The one you can walk holding hands and stuff. All that mushy stuff.
Kind of reminded me in her attitude sort of Winona Ryder to me. For some reason.
Yeah, but she looks hotter than Winona Ryder, though. I like Kim Myers more.
She is, but the way she acts, the way she carries herself.
Yeah, from our sisters.
Yeah, right?
But I also like Robert Russler's character. I like
Grady?
When they're having to do push-ups, when they get in trouble, and the conversations they have.
Yeah,
I love the whole reaction he has when Jesse goes in his room. I'm like, what the fuck, man? What?
Listen, I know he has fucked up dreams, but yet he is his friend. He doesn't just throw him out. Unfortunately, he pays the price in a horrible way by getting punctured, and then Freddy's claw. You just see.
There's a very heartbreaking scene where Jesse comes. No, when Jesse comes through, right, after he sees what happens to Grady, and he sees the reflection of Freddy, and you really feel hurt about what happens to Jesse. Jesse takes off the glove. How could you? And throws the glove at the mirror.
Right? Is that when he's in the shower?
No, then actually after Grady gets killed.
Grady's killed. And
then he sees the glove. It's a heartbreaking scene, you know.
When he wakes up, and he's got the glove. In the shower, he's like.
And yes, I know people say he screams like a girl.
But you scream, you're scared, of course.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, a lot of people scream like a girl if you're freaking terrified.
Of course.
If fucking Freddy's coming out of your stomach, or if you see your friends that by, who gives a fuck if you scream like a guy?
Exactly. What are you gonna scream? Are you gonna scream like Peter Weller?
Actually, if you're
like Peter Weller.
But I mean, I like the film a lot. I like the actors, characters who cared about.
It's a hell of a lot better than Part 5, folks.
It is. I gotta admit, it is.
Also, this is probably my favorite score by Christopher Young.
Yeah, Christopher Young's score.
Really solid score.
I know a lot of people love the first one more, but I don't know, something about this.
Christopher Young is very underrated composer. Very underrated.
Young always brings out the best in his scores. Doesn't matter what movie he does. He do some low budget, cheap jack.
Even the score for Hellraiser 2, Hellbound Hellraiser 2, that's a badass score. The opening.
The score for Gothic. He did this. He did not Gothic. He did the score for Haunted Summer.
He did one for, of course, The Flight 2. I love that score.
I love that score.
Rapid Fire.
Rapid Fire?
The score for the
Get out of here.
might be more superior.
He did Rapid Fire? Seriously?
Yeah.
I didn't know
I
that
think
shit.
the score to The Fly 2, in my opinion, is superior.
Damn, I didn't even know that. I reviewed that shit yesterday. Fuck, thanks for letting me know. I'll put it in the pop-up. Thanks, man.
The Fly 2, he has more emotion to it. Chris Young's one of those composers that brings emotion to his score.
Yeah.
Either it's, emotion in terms of, evil, foreboding.
The Hellraiser 2, he brings the emotion to it. Or Fly 2,
Good times.
Yeah. I can't do it right, but
yeah. That whole thing.
I like the reaction of the girl when she figures out what is going on with Jesse originally. I mean, what would your reaction be if a giant tongue, weird fucking little?
Well, she doesn't notice it.
She don't notice it until afterwards, until he turns in front of her.
Well, here's what I like about her. She sticks by her man.
Exactly.
Trying to help him.
She knows she's not gonna drop him like this is freaky.
I mean, he warns her. He warns her to get away from him, and she's just like, "I'm not gonna leave you, Jesse. You can fight it. You can fight it." I like that.
She's not gonna drop him like a bar soap in a prison.
No, she's not gonna say, "Look, Jesse, you got too many pounds. I'm leaving you. Bye bye. I'm getting out of here, Jesse."
I know a lot of girls would do that too. Like,
you got too much baggage, Jesse. I'm getting out of here. That's it.
She'd be like, "Ew, Brody, get away from me, Jesse."
I can't believe you pulled that tongue out of me. You nasty motherfucker. I'm leaving you. That's it. I'm going out with Jason. Leaving fucking.
I need help. Please help me.
So other than, it doesn't. It breaks the rules, but like we said, it doesn't have.
At the time, there was no rules. I mean, they were trying to experiment.
Overtones, yes. I don't give a shit.
I mean, it's there.
It gives. I think the overtones help because it gives something.
Yeah.
It has balls, folks.
Even if it wasn't on purpose.
It's not a castrated horror film like you see a lot nowadays. It's controversial. It has elements of sadomasochism.
Yeah.
Who the hell does that nowadays?
Although
yes, have the balls to do that now.
Those ass, but
yeah. But that's a
I take the good with the bad, I guess.
I just don't like the beginning. It doesn't make any sense, and then the
school bus
and the flying bird. That's the only part.
I didn't mind the beginning with the school bus.
Okay, I didn't mind that, but what the fuck happens to those kids?
That's right, but that helps in the fact that cared enough about these characters to know and want to know, but it's never touched. Yeah. They're never mentioned again.
I
Exactly.
just don't like this ending where you just.
Well, let's see when that documentary comes out of the Mark Patton or anybody. Jack Shoulder touches on that,
Elm Street's parts 1, 2, and 3, the continuing story or whatever. You say Martin's Press, and it's just a short novelization of this film, and it doesn't really explain anything either. So.
But let's see what the creator says. What Jack Shoulder says. They're gonna get him for that interview, right? Jack Shoulder and Mark Patton.
Okay, not many people remember the song that's playing during the party sequence, and it's a 9-minute and 37-minute long song. It was actually a pretty big dance at the time. It's called "From a Whisper to a Scream."
Really?
So it's like, from a whisper to a scream.
Really?
Now I know just what you mean.
Well, I smell a brain fart coming there.
I guess it does show that Frieza badass when he's just killing kids.
Yeah, because I like that idea when he's going ape shit, the whole thing, roar, and he jumps out of nowhere,
Like,
although it's weird, like, he seems to create fire just out of thin air. Like, how come he doesn't just burn them in thin air?
Well,
like when he goes through the hedges.
They didn't have the budget. Think about it.
That's probably what it is.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, maybe that's what people go like. Well, wait a minute, he could just make fire out of his ass. Why didn't he just burn everybody?
I mean, he burns he has some kind of form of power because when they try to climb the fence burns them or whatever.
Well, that's what I mean. Why didn't they just burn them all?
Well, I guess Freddy wanted some exercise.
John Leguizamo's clown shooting flames out of his ass.
That's just terrible.
Really horrible.
But on this film,
in a remake, who knows? Maybe kill somebody, you know.
Well, my final thoughts on this film is that I feel it's very underrated. Okay, it's got those tones in there, but does it hurt the film for me? No. Yes, I understand how people say, oh, but how can Freddy? But at the time when this thing was starting out, the franchise was gonna, then who knew it was gonna be a franchise? Everybody get a second film, all right. But they were trying to experiment, you know, try to play a little bit with the game. Like, okay, instead of just being a dream.
Like what John Carpenter did with Halloween 3.
Yeah, trying to, I guess, like that. Okay, try to experiment what the rules are. Obviously, it did not work, but for the mainstream audience, but not for me. But I like the cast. What happened?
It made more than twice its budget.
Okay.
Because it wasn't made for a lot of money, so it did make money.
They made some money?
If this one didn't make money, then we wouldn't get part 3.
Well, it
took a while to make 3, though.
It didn't make as much as the first one, though.
But it took a while to get to 3.
Yeah.
It was like $3 million and made like 30.
Yeah. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah, but it took. Remember, guys, it took a while to get Dream Warriors though.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't come right away.
Maybe 2 years was good, just
to give them more time.
Year, you get part 5.
Exactly.
You get rushed sequels like Child's Play did.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes if you let it go for about 2 years or whatever, and you get everybody's juices flowing, and you can come up with better ideas, you know, instead of just, we gotta do it now, we gotta slap it now, we gotta do it together.
You know, Rainbow Forward as good as it was after, 20 years, right? Isn't it 20 years?
Well, think about the same year, folks. You had Halloween 5, Friday the 13th Part 8, and Nightmare on Elm Street 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All sequels that were rushed.
Exactly. And none of them were good.
Honestly, none of them were very good. So.
But my final thoughts on Part 2 is I agree with these guys wholeheartedly in the fact that, yes, I know some people complain about, like Mike Efree said and Mike said, the rules were not in place. So I was fine with that. So you have some silly stuff like the ending or the bird going apeshit.
Boom.
But I don't. First of all, the whole old gay thing. I don't care if a guy's gay, pink, polka dot bikini, straight. Or,
exactly.
I just care about the movie. And Mark Pat was a likable.
Exactly.
He's a very likable.
Kim Myers was a likable girl.
Exactly. Hot girl too.
Realistic. He was a realistic kind of guy.
Yeah.
A little bit more Freddy's backstory when they visit the places he took the kids.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love the way the whole place where he took the kids looks in the end.
Yeah.
It does look very foreboding, very good lighting work there.
Awesome
and it's
score.
A really cool thing when Jesse's resurrected. It's a very, inspiring and uplifting sequence.
Yeah, that he actually fights Freddy innerly.
It reminds me sort of the sequence in The Fly 2 at the end where he takes Bartok into the machine.
Yeah.
And Barton is reborn.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Christopher Young also did the score for that film.
Yeah.
Awesome score, excellent special effects. Other than the ending and I keep on thinking of that parrot because it's so shit.
I know it's just so ridiculous.
But other than that, though, I would still give this as high as a rating as this first one. I know that's ballsy, but it's just this film's taking shit on so much.
This is
I would give it
out of 4 stars. I would give it 3.5.
I would give it about for the whole movie. I would give it maybe a 9.5 out of 10. It's not bad. It's not a bad movie. It's very good movie. VHS,
I actually was able to find copies of the original media tapes. So, but what's really cool about this film is the tape I had. It wasn't in the best of shape, but it was just such an interesting film that I didn't really care. So, it'd be doing, the thing where it goes, the part where, when you watch an old VHS tape and the picture goes with that little scroll up and down the screen. It kept doing that, but I didn't really care. That's a sign of a good film, folks. When you're watching a pretty crappy quality tape and you're like, I don't give a shit. This is just so interesting.
There's a difference between VHS and DVD. Now, if it would have been DVD, it would have been
Well, you can actually watch a VHS if it has the line going up and
on DVD. That's what I'm saying. On DVD, it just be freezing up. I don't know. Jesse, great. You get all that stuff. You got the body, but I got the... And he just stays stuck on Freddy trying to pull his way. But we three of us could agree. I mean, the movie's underrated and it gets shit on for no reason.
I love the poster art too.
The poster art is badass. I mean, the reflection. And that's one thing we forgot to talk about in the first movie. That poster art with Freddy's glove, which actually that glove it comes into play in part 9.
Yeah.
You know, I guess that was the design that I guess Wes maybe originally wanted. I don't know.
9.
You know, a New Nightmare. Was that 9?
Part 7.
Part 7. Whoops, sorry.
There's no part 9.
I fucked up.
Oh my
Okay.
god, Michael Bay already made a sequel to the New Night.
Definitely a solid film.
Yeah.
Now the next one.
We're the Dream Warriors.
Not gonna dream
No more. We're the Dream Warriors.
Maybe tonight
You'll be
Be gone. I wonder if WFG is gonna mute us for singing the song.
I'm a huge fan of Doc, and such a big fan of Doc, and the only vinyl I own is the soundtrack to Nightmare Part 3.
Yeah, but I asked that question. I wonder if WMG is gonna mute the three of us for singing.
Stop cornering me.
Oh man, but this movie, I saw this Nightmare on Elm Street, I think over and over again actually, because I love the cast, the director.
The original script sucked, folks.
Was that the one by Wes Craven that they rejected?
Awful. They used it in the novel, the series of novelizations, Nightmares Parts 1 and 2 and 3. None of the cool sequences that you remember are in the movie. There's no Freddy Snake. There's none of the good death scenes. It's just a blasé, run-of-the-mill script.
What was the story?
Well, it's the same sort of story about the kids, you
Yeah.
know, and the
Dream Warriors?
They're getting educated.
Yeah.
And there's some Dream Warrior elements, but they're not really that cool. They're not like, you know, like the film itself, where it's just a lot of fun.
It says here that the original idea was the film centered around the phenomenon of kids traveling to a specific location to commit suicide.
Yes.
Okay.
With dreams of Freddy,
that's what I'm talking about.
A common link.
Yeah.
But suicide, you know, at that time was taboo, so they abandoned it.
Well, that's sort of what the script was about, but then they kind of combined it with the kids and the mental institution.
But when did this movie come out? This movie came out what year? 87, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, wait a minute. Didn't 20th Century Fox come out with another horror film that dealt with that suicide stuff?
Bad Dreams. That was a year later.
Oh, a year later. Okay, yeah, all right. Because I know that I was gonna say somebody can get a lawsuit.
Criticized. Well, first of all, Bad Dreams is worth a watch, but it has one of the worst endings.
It is the worst ending, a big punch in the face you're ever gonna get, which is not a good punch. You know, it's just you had a good idea and you dropped the ball. As like I always say. You know?
It's like one of those Rock'em Sock'em robot punches right to your face that send your head flying to the ceiling because you can't believe how fucking...
It's like a woman kicking you so hard in your balls and your balls come out of your sack and fly out your asshole. That's it.
Out of your mouth, like in Hot Shots Part 2. You know?
Ah!
But everybody pretty much knows the story of Part 3.
Heather Langenkamp returns. Nancy.
Even though she doesn't give him much to do.
That's a sad. They don't give her nothing to do. That's why I got mad. Like they don't do.
Except for
she dies.
Freddy in the
She's what they call the opposition. They call that, Matt. You know, the one that fills in the plot.
Oh, you mean the? I know what you're talking about.
What's that word?
They give plots. Just talk about the plot exposition.
That's right. That's what she's doing. I mean, it was good to see her back. I mean, it's obvious that...
with that white streak in her hair.
Which was kind of a creepy vibe. I liked that. You know.
But didn't she seem young to be, quote, an adult?
The idea is, I guess, that she had lost a lot of weeks of sleep, and I guess she was still taking these medication pills to stay awake.
Yeah, I mean, this actually has something that would be put in Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
Hypnosil,
exactly.
I think it's a very ballsy idea to challenge mental... You know, the whole thing with kids having to take these experimental pills or something like that.
And the cast of these kids, the cast is amazing.
So
Patricia Arquette as Christian, way before True Romance, and of course, you know, Medium that shows you on now. Ken Sagos as Kincaid. Everybody remembers Kincaid. And you have Joey, I don't know.
Pussy.
Yeah,
Come on, pussy.
that's it.
Yeah.
And plus you have Bradley Gregg, I think, from class of
like,
1999.
if he was listening, hey, a black guy who's strong lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least until the sequel.
Yeah, to the sequel. That
And
pissed me
in the
off,
most
though.
ridiculous way possible.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into that when we get to the fourth one. And plus, you have Jennifer Rubin, actually, who's the lead, will be the lead in Bad Dreams.
So
Yeah, she's the lead girl in Bad Dreams. But in this movie, they had her doing more in this film, though.
Although it's weird on the poster, like, none of them are really on the poster.
Exactly, which is sad, I mean.
Who's the guy with the mace? There's no mace.
Yeah, right?
Fuck the guy with the mason.
And I guess on the right is I'm looking at the poster. They have that girl with the switchblades.
Okay.
It's supposed to be Jennifer Rubin, but it's not really.
No mohawk.
Is that the girl that ends up getting syringed?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
What a rush.
Was she a drug addict?
She was a drug addict, yeah. And also a very important actor Lawrence Fishburne. Well, at the time he was Larry Fishburne, yeah. And he lived. He didn't get killed or nothing. Yeah.
But like you were saying, it's nice. This really shows that Freddy plays on people's weaknesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kid has no in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
And then has the wheelchair from hell.
Is it the D kid? Or is that no?
That was the kid, the one that was like a wizard. Because a wizard or whatever.
Yeah, that was another cool thing. Basically, for those, well, you should know it, but this song.
If you haven't seen Nightmare Part 3, I really don't know.
Basically, Patricia Arquette.
Christian.
Yeah, I got. That's a phone. That's a phone ringing.
They think someone is this great special effects sequence with the faucet.
Yeah.
And showing like Freddy's like finger knives.
Freddy is still in the shadows in this movie, by the way, folks. A little bit though.
To show how Freddy got back from Part 2.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna have to edit this out.
Well, don't worry. But it's good. Go out to your bird.
But I was saying, they think Patricia Arquette she was trying to be suicidal, so there's this hospital where all these people have problems, and you have a Heather Langenkamp's character come in. She's sort of a dream
specialist. Psychologist, yeah.
And basically she sort of strikes a little friendship.
With Craig Wasson?
She hears Patricia Arquette singing that song.
Yeah.
And it actually opens up, I forgot you were talking about before about the little kid.
Yeah, that's right. That little girl who's part of that girl that's the jump rope, whatever, the 1, 2, and
she's trying to save the kid, and then looks down. The kid's actually all bones.
Yeah.
And she wakes up and.
Yeah, and the director of this film is Chuck Russell, who will go on to direct a movie that three of us love with a passion, and that's the Blob remake. Chuck Russell, I mean, you can see the imagination there. I mean, amazing. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, this brought a lot of fun. I mean,
yeah, it is.
Born to one-liners. Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Yeah, this girl that smokes cigarettes, can't sleep. She's in the rec room.
And she's watching Critters.
Wait, was it Critters? That's right, it was Critters. New Line
Cinema.
New Line Cinema doing their little advertisements, I guess. And why not, So they threw it, because I think Critters paid them back in the sequel, right? So yeah, so they all help each other out. The Evil Dead, Critters, Nightmare on Elm Street connection.
And she burns herself, right, with cigarettes.
Yeah, to stay awake. Until she realized something's wrong with the TV. She's in the rec room alone. And they
the whole thing where it's like
bitch.
Yeah, I love that kill. But the funny thing about it, when Lawrence Fishburne finds her, they had the nerve to call that suicide. How the fuck she's gonna run and jump up into the TV?
Exactly. With the fucking jumbo trampoline, just like.
Well, she has a trampoline hidden in her cooch, just like.
Yeah, boing! He jumped up. It was like a Super Mario Bros. Thing. Bam! Is it?
He took a Peter Pan leap,
Yeah,
That is, I forgot.
But I like the cast because you get to see how the characters, Kincaid and everybody's reacting to everything,
Freddy losing his so-called balls, becoming darkness and becoming a
pop icon. But it's not as much in this one though.
To be honest, because they had to do a different approach.
Yeah.
It made him entertaining.
Yeah.
It made him interesting.
Yeah, it made him interesting, very entertaining. I mean, and Primetime Bitch is actually, I think it was an improv line by Robert Englund. I don't think it was originally supposed to be big.
I think Robert Englund was starting to get a little bit more comfortable now with the character no more.
Be like, welcome to Primetime, kiddo.
I mean, come on, the scene where the guy turns into a dummy.
That freaks me out.
That's a great special effects sequence where the guy is, what is it, like his veins?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, that's that guy Philip, the one that he sleepwalks, that he cut his thing and he turned him into
Stuart Gordon's dolls, you know? When
yeah.
He turned that girl into that doll.
Yeah, but that's more creepy though, because they see him, you know, or whatever. I think, what is it? Kincaid says, "Have a good night,
nice stroll,
have a nice stroll, asshole." Yeah. And then when they realize that, you know, that he's by the edge there, and you see Freddy cutting the strings, and
and he's got him at like the puppet master. Like
and that fuels the fear of your characters now. Yeah. And now when it comes time, they realize their gifts. Then you know it's gonna be a hell of a fucking fight now. It's not gonna be a one-way beating. It's not gonna be a one-way killing now.
Unlike the other two films.
That was an interesting take that I love too. I think what most people love, it gave the action. These kids having powers. And
fighting back. You know, I love that.
I want to kick your ass.
One had like Kincaid is superhuman strength.
Yeah.
Kristen to do like martial arts.
Yeah, like these flips or whatever.
Joey gets seduced by a woman with titties, which no one blames him.
Yeah.
But then he has like the super scream, I guess.
Yeah, super scream from X-Men.
It's like,
yeah, and then you got the kid who's the wizard or whatever that could walk and everything like that.
Okay, if you're a Dream Warrior, what do you think your power would be?
My power? I would say I would go with weapons. A lot of weapons. M16s.
Armed to the teeth. Just be
like like weapons like I would say like commando, but lightweight weapons, not too heavy. I mean, fuck, it's a dream world. Big heavy weapons. Pulse rifles, grenade launchers, the Wildy Magnum, kind of like Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil 2, like that, with no hair though, because I got no hair in the dream either. You know.
How about you, Mike?
That's an interesting question.
Go for it. Come on, man.
I'm trying to think,
Would you use the special effects or something? You'd be like Brian Brown from FX or something? What?
No, I mean, I think it'd be kind of cool because, I'm always into the whole martial arts thing is pretty cool. But like have like two swords at my back and just be like, freaking Deadpool and just be like,
with some jokes and everything? All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
That kind of thing with two swords and just slashing Freddy up.
How about you, Matt?
I got these off of commercial. These are what these are. These are made out of tungsten steel.
Ginsus, huh?
They're able to Jinsu knives about to be able to cut through.
What would my power be?
Yeah, what your power be? Yeah.
How about a 7-foot gold-plated dick?
But that's gonna help you stop Freddy. You gonna whip it out for him? Okay. Pew.
He's like,
Poke him in the eye.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Long dung diggler. There you go.
I'll take that 7-foot gold-plated dick. Poke Freddy in the eye with them.
And me, I just be armed to the teeth with pulse rifles and Wildy Magnums and grenade launchers.
I'll be like the guy in Day of the Dead. Choke on it. Hey, Freddy, come over here. Choke on it.
Oh God, that's how Twisted Fantasy of Dream Warrior. You see, a guy armed to the teeth with weapons, a guy with swords, and a guy with a cold dick.
Is that how you feel about Freddy with the gold dick with superpowered cum and it just blows into pieces?
But that's the thing. It's
give us a quick blow job with gold dick.
I can control it. I can go to normal size. I have gold plated, so I can take care of the girls after I save the day. So I can be like 7 inches instead of 7 feet.
There you go. They're gonna call him tripod.
So yeah.
Oh God.
I can control my dick that way. That'll be my power.
There you go. Matt, Efree, and Mike, the dream. Oh god.
But
That would be a fun dream to watch, man. That would be really interesting.
I'm sorry.
Oh god.
Like, this is a classic, though. I can't find too much except Heather Langenkamp.
That's one thing that took me down a bit. I'm like, you would think that she's there, that maybe she would have a power too. I mean, that's what I wanted to find out in the documentary. Was there a story?
No, even John Saxon plays a big part in this movie. The whole thing where he's trying to find Freddy.
He doesn't do much. He's sort of an asshole.
He's a drunk.
He is, but he plays a bigger part than Heather did because he actually finds Freddy's grave.
And then gets killed right away.
By that Ray Harryhausen Freddy Krueger. With that skeleton like Ray Harryhausen. I said, look like.
The lights just start. The whole sequence where he's walking there is really creepy and well done. And the lights and the headlights, all the dead cars just start going off and the horn shit.
Oh yeah, you guys mentioned this before. The nurse. I mean the religious thing.
Yeah.
The
oh yeah, that's right. The Craig Watson bumps into the what is it? It was a nurse. Or was it? Oh no, it was a sister. A nun.
That's when you first sort of see a relationship between Freddy and some nun kind of thing. That's
this is sort of where we're introduced to the whole,
Amanda Kruger.
Maniacs raped Amanda Kruger.
Yeah.
You find out this woman the guy's been seeing who sort of. It's almost like he was going to be Heather Langenkamp's boyfriend.
Yeah.
But you find out that the sister was in fact Amanda Kruger, but she didn't really do shit.
All she did was just give a little bit of, I guess, talking to Craig Wassum's character.
And I also remember the Freddy snake being just nasty looking, man.
Thanks.
It was a good effect.
I liked that, yeah.
Good effect. But still, I remember the documentary they talked about. We just threw slime all over the thing, man. We're just like, throw all this gunk on it. Just throw all this here and slime there.
Yeah.
Just this green, slimy, and nasty worm thing, man.
Yeah.
And I remember that one of the actors, they're like, man, that looks like a penis. They're like, yeah, that's a penis, right? Like, I think it was one of the actors or actresses. That looks like a giant penis.
I wonder which one, though. I wonder if it was Patricia Arquette or was it Ken Sagos or Jennifer Rubin?
But it was somebody, though. They talked about in Labyrinth. Just like Veronica Cartwright did in Alien documentary. They said, like, this is a
classic movie.
It is. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's got, once again, good kick-ass moments, good special effects, good cast.
If you guys haven't already, you should check out the music video for Dream Warriors by Doc.
If you could find it anywhere on YouTube, by the way, and this depends.
Any other site would work. I mean, the whole thing where Dawkins defeats Freddy with the power of 80s hair metal. And
and it has an appearance by Patricia Arquette in there, I believe, too.
I love
that whole thing, because Freddy Krueger actually awakens from a nightmare. Whoa! Against
like, who were those guys?
Yeah, it was just funny, I mean, wow. But you could say, okay, part 3 maybe was the slight beginning of pop icon Freddy, maybe, but it didn't bother me though. I mean, I still loved Freddy, The only problem with this film.
Welcome to Primetime Bitch.
Exactly.
Primetime Bitch.
Exactly.
I mean, the whole thing that with this movie.
And horror film history, in my opinion, and it was all Robert Englund.
Yeah.
Improv that.
Exactly.
It was supposed to be that. Can you imagine how ineffective it would be? Like, welcome to Primetime, kid.
Primetime Bitch works better, sells it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the whole thing, I mean, the only thing about this film I'm not too crazy about is the whole, Heather Langenkamp, I love Heather Langenkamp, but they don't do nothing with her though. I mean, she gets killed off, which is sad.
Didn't she kill him with the claw though?
I think she stabs him with something or with the cross or something. So she sacrificed herself.
He grabs Freddy from behind and stabs him with his own glove.
Okay. So she pwned him before she went out.
I always thought, that's an okay climax, but from what you saw already with craziness, the Freddy one and stuff, just stabbing him with his own glove was.
No, but the whole thing was with the religious thing, with the holy water and the cross, and him getting all burnt.
That's what ended up killing him.
That's what ended up really killing, but it was still a good idea,
Because they ended up killing his Bones. And
the Ray Harryhausen bones. So it reminds me of when I see that. Ray Harryhausen, wow.
It does look like Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah, they felt like Simba gotta come up and fight Freddy. Cling, cling, but still. You know? Yeah. Ha ha ha. You know? But it's still a good movie. I mean, there's one little gap of the movie I think Matt was talking about when you reviewed it on your other channel. Like, okay, the way the first Nightmare on Elm Street ended, right? Now, how come when Freddy sees Nancy, he goes, yo! And, like, Nancy seems surprised to see Freddy. I mean, did she officially kill Freddy in the first movie? Or, that's one thing that left me a little confused there. You know what I'm talking about, Matt?
Well, she probably did officially kill him.
But then why she looked surprised to see him? Or, like, if she hasn't been sleeping, you know, all this stuff, like...
Oh, because he's surprised
Why
to see her.
didn't he go after her?
I don't know. I remember you mentioned it on one of your videos. That thing about when Freddy sees Nancy when he's the worm, and he goes, "Yo."
Maybe it's because she hasn't been sleeping. That's why.
Maybe that's why. Maybe because that's true. Because they hit Miss maybe, or whatever.
She doesn't sleep, so he can't go after her.
Yeah.
Well,
I hope.
she doesn't sleep. You mean she doesn't dream?
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's because you don't dream, or it could be that thing where
she thought he was dead.
Maybe that's why. Yeah. Because we weren't sure with the first movie.
The first film that she said, "I don't believe in you.
Yeah.
You're not real. I'm not afraid of you."
And she turns her back on him. He goes, "No!" No. After she fucks him up. You know, that's the only thing. I love that.
It's the same thing with the Dreamcatcher kind of thing. The whole legendary Dreamcatcher thing. I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the actual.
Not that movie.
I'm talking about the actual, Dreamcatcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have those.
I used to have one too.
Me too.
If you don't believe in it, it doesn't.
But yeah, I mean, my final thoughts is what made this film work was you had bigger production.
Yes.
They didn't have tons of budget. I mean, it says here only $5 million.
How much it made back?
That's $2 million more than 3.
Wow.
45 million.
Well, there you go. Made back the money.
I think it's the most successful film in the franchise, right?
The fourth one.
The fourth one, because the fourth one broke the record.
Freddy vs. Jason, technically, but really the fourth one.
Well, screw Freddy vs. Jason because it's not really an official Freddy film. But,
I mean, it's a standalone movies from both franchises, Freddy vs. Jason. Just standalone, I think.
This is definitely one of my favorites because you have the action, the special effects,
the cast.
Yeah,
it's honestly the one that I have the most fun watching.
I love Kincaid.
Yeah, the character is just badass. I just got mad when we get to the next movie. We'll find out why.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get to that.
Yeah, but the cast in there works. I was rooting for them. Come on, Freddy, you pussy! Come on, you know. The way Kincaid talks, you know.
Originally, the first film, it's a great film in its own way, the best in the series, but the most enjoyable and fun.
Yeah.
Is
and director Chuck Russell, guy who go on to direct the Blobs.
Why I don't put the next one above this one is we'll find out in.
Okay.
No.
Well, no. Rating for the film, I would give it about pretty much 8 out of 10. You know, it's a good movie. It's good to see.
Dream Warriors the same rating as the first film for me. I give it 4 out of 4 stars because it started the new Freddy.
Oh, so you like part 2 better than this one? I'm talking to Efree.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, then let me rephrase it then. Okay, I would go.
The second one was 9.5.
That's right. I remember. Yeah, it was 9.5. The second one. So I think. Wait a minute. I'll actually change my mind on that. I will go with 10 out of 10. I mean, the only problem is the only little thing is that they don't make really Nancy do anything. But other than that, the cast, the fun, the special effects, the kills, the little bit of the story. Okay, I rephrase it. 10 out of 10. That's true. Because I do watch this one a little bit more than the second one, but I can watch 1 through 4 with no problems. When we get to the other ones, you'll find out why.
Yeah,
this is probably my second favorite.
Yeah.
We're coming to my favorite, which I'll explain why.
Okay, which is right now.
I like it.
And that's our first yes, we would go. Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
The
Dream Master.
Which has a really cool soundtrack. Which
to the movie though.
Fucking A. That's not the song though. That's not the, I mean, that's the song in the end credits though.
For people who don't even know what the hell we're doing, basically there's a scene here where Al's getting ready in front of a mirror, and this piece of music plays, and
which is not on the soundtrack, and there's no longer version of it.
And that song was one of the songs when I first got on YouTube, and I listened to my good buddy over here, videos, Rambo, Matt, and he had that song, and and I'm like, yeah, and he did the editing with the music, and then the end part, fucking A. I'm like, yeah, you know, they're like,
that was really good.
I remember that. Yeah, the whole that was classic, man, classic Matt. There you go.
But of course, this is the one right by Rennie Harlan.
Yeah.
After
Prison. Prison's an underrated, very good, scary prison movie. I mean,
I'll get on to that eventually on my 101 films.
Prison's very underrated. I love Prison. I seen it online thanks to Jason vs. 13th, 1983. Thank you. Yes.
Now, I did say this is my favorite, but might as well get to my main complaint right away.
Of course, there you go.
Decade.
Joey!
The Dream Warriors, you have Tuesday Night replacing Patricia Arquette.
Yeah.
Joan Kincaid. All killed way too quickly.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah. I mean, granted, it's inventive. I mean, I like the
I like the death of Joey, but the death of Kincaid is dumb, man. It's insane.
But the only thing I can say about that scene is Freddy's entrance, like Matt said, is a pimp's entrance. The dog pisses flames.
You shouldn't have buried me.
I'm not dead. Yeah.
I do like the whole car thing.
Yeah.
It's just the idea of these Dream Warriors being killed very quickly.
Yeah, easy.
I don't like the dog pissing flames. That's just
you don't like that?
Yeah, I don't like that part. I like the cars when they're blocking its way.
I do like that sequence.
Yeah, I can agree with the dog pissing.
Why no one likes that? Ah, man.
Why have a dog piss?
But it's a cool idea. A dog pissing flame. The dog got the clap.
It's not as bad as Batman and Robin, where that dog is getting ready to piss on that fire hydrant and it gets frozen.
No, but that's bad. That one. I mean, this one is actually good bad. This is not bad. You know.
I don't think it's good bad. It's just about as bad as the parrot flying around and blowing up for no damn.
But I look at it this way: the dog caught an STD and it got the clap and it pissed off Freddy. That's how I look at it, guys.
Well, it's a dream too.
It's a dream, man. You gotta go creativity. And by the way, the special effects are done by Screaming Mad George.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them, I thought he did all. Oh.
He did. The
cockroach scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
The cockroach scene was one of the best scenes.
Yeah, it is a good kill. I like that.
But basically, I mean, the plot is you're introduced to Lisa Wilcox as Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Alice.
Yeah. Alice. Welcome to Wonderland, Alice.
I was getting a drink of water. Alice. She's sort of a shy girl. She daydreams a lot, which is why I like about her.
Yeah, her father's a drunk.
I do actually like her character a little bit better than Nancy at times.
In this movie, she's okay. But when we get to the next one, you understand why I'm not crazy about it.
Exactly.
Well, it's like Heather J. Langenkamp Part 3.
Well, but...
Carries Heather off days. We're introduced to some new people, which I actually like. I like Rick.
Yeah, Rick was good.
Is that the martial arts guy?
Yeah, the brother of Alice.
Yeah,
the boyfriend of Christian.
The nunchucks in the scene with Anything by Dramarama.
Yeah.
Which is owned by Warner Music Group, so
and of course the opening with Running from a Nightmare.
Tuesday night. Yeah.
Running from
I remember that tribute you did, Matt, with Tuesday Night. Remember that tribute you did with the Nightmare 4?
Yeah.
I remember that. I was kick-ass.
I remember you tried to use anything.
Yes.
Right, Matt?
I did, but it's owned and got blocked. But anyway, basically what happens is when Kristen character's dying, she gives her power.
Is that the one where she's like, wanna suck face?
No. At the beginning,
oh yeah,
she's a nice character. She's getting killed. She gives Alice her powers.
Yeah, exactly.
And now Freddy uses Alice to bring in new victims.
Yeah.
And the reason this is my favorite, I think this is the one that I watched the most as a kid.
Yeah.
It really is MTV Freddy.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's not scary.
I did enjoy it a lot.
A lot of jokes.
Yeah.
What's crazy about Elm Street films, the later ones, I checked out them from the library, so they were due in a week. And there's this guy doing the floor in my house in Oregon, by myself. And it was this summer. I was like, well, so I just started watching back to back along with the Friday the 13th franchise. But I ended up enjoying Freddy more. I watched Nightmare Part 3. This is cool, and I watched Part 4. I'll be honest, this is the one that I had the most fun with. When it comes to, consistency and effectiveness, I would rank Part 3 over it, but they're very close, in my opinion.
I let the other guys talk, but this was a really childhood favorite of mine. That's
exactly.
Being a bit more vocal is because I love Lisa Wilcox's character. She's
a really good character.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like the fact that awesome death sequences, whether it be, like Mike said, the
Roach Motel
girl who has asthma.
Yeah, Roach Motel.
Yeah.
Or
Alicia? Alicia, is that her name? Where he... Isn't Alicia her name?
For who?
No, it's Sheila.
Sheila. Yeah,
Sheila was the girl that's like the nerd. And
she has asthma.
She has asthma, and she's kind of a bit of an inventor. I know she made this weird thing.
Set up that scene too, because you're seeing the dream sequence, and then it cuts to people just seeing her having an asthma attack.
Yeah.
So it's just they just think she dies of asthma attack. That's it. Like,
and also Debbie, the girl who hates bugs. Of course, that scene where she just turned to her cockroaches.
That is one of the creepiest. It still creeps me out.
Yeah.
It still makes me. Yeah. And the
bugged out about it is that where Alice is trying to get to Debbie's house, it's looping. Freddy actually did a weird trick to her, like she's running with timeline. Then Dan, one of the guys there, the football player, Dan notices, he's like, haven't we done this before?
Which was an interesting thing. I never saw that before or since in an Elm Street movie.
Yeah.
That was different.
Yeah, like a mind fuck of a game to play,
The whole sequence when she's, when her arms fall off and that shit, it's just
great practical effects.
Yeah. Screaming Mad George.
So, I'd let these guys talk a little bit, but real quick, like, awesome special effects, awesome death scenes.
Great finale.
I like Freddy Krueger, and yes, the finale starting with Alice getting ready, that music.
Yeah.
Which I would rewatch all the time as a kid.
Of course. And that scene is actually, a lot of women I've seen on YouTube, they reenact that scene. There's a lot of them. I'm surprised. It shows you it still carries over. The Alice getting ready
Alice
scene
isn't like this, uber pretty,
She's a shy daydreaming girl.
She's a daydreaming girl.
She gets ass.
And then, push comes to shove, her man is in trouble, and she's gonna rescue her man, which is Dan, the guy she likes.
And then you just got, it's just, I love the soul food sequence. How sweet, fresh meat.
And then when she gets there, she's in the movie theater, she gets pulled in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, she looks back and it's all her dead friends.
Yeah.
Laughing or something. It's like
soul food. The soul food scene I'm talking about is Freddy has this pizza, which has
the meatballs of all the dead people and stuff, right? Yeah, that's a creepy scene.
little meatball.
Yeah.
And he's like, how sweet, fresh meat.
Yeah.
He says at the beginning, yeah.
But this film.
He shows up at the beach, right when he shows up, like Jaws, sort of a homage to Jaws here.
Yeah.
Oh, with Kristen,
Kristen,
And he's got the claw going through the sand. It's kind of homage to Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll let these guys talk more. I love the film to death. I know it's not perfect, but I'll let these guys talk about it.
Well, what I want to say about the movie is I remember it came out in 1988, and I remember it was out ironically around the same time another movie that I wanted to see in theaters was out, but I never got to see none of these in theater. No, The Blob, 1988.
That would have been an amazing experience.
Yeah, I never got around to. I guess at the time everybody was busy, couldn't take me to theater. I was a young kid at the time. My brother got lucky to see Nightmare 4 on the big screen, and he actually had the 45, the record of the Fat Boys' "Are You Ready for Freddy?" And that song, the music video, is a fun music video. That's where Freddy became the pop icon culture, but I didn't mind it. Granted, okay.
Don't fall
asleep. Exactly. And then the whole thing where
I love Freddy's rap. I'm sorry.
yeah, the Freddy rap was cool, you know, and stuff. Freddy's back. Freddy's back. It's just badass. And the movie, to me, I had a lot of fun with it. Yes, I was mad that Kincaid got killed in a stupid way.
That really did piss me off. Joey, though, was a good death scene.
But ironically, once again, Freddy fools Joey with some blonde woman, topless girl. And the first movie was the same thing. In a waterbed, which is a little reminiscent to the original Nightmare film, but not without the gore. Just him dying inside. Yeah, him dying inside his waterbed, which is strange.
Can you imagine the kid? Can you imagine your parents
finding you like that? Yeah. How would you rule that out?
What the fuck? You walk in, you'd be like,
how the fuck he died in the bed? You know?
Then you'd have the police people that come in. Imagine the police examiner.
Oh yeah, forensic people.
What's going on here, friend? What's going on here, man? My son is dead.
In the bed.
He's in the bed.
In the bed, not on the bed. In the bed. How the hell he got in there? Well, you tell me. You're CSI.
Well, they made him that way.
That's
That's
it.
how we make all our water beds.
Exactly. But the thing also, the one thing I do miss Patricia Arquette as Christian, but Tuesday Night did a good job though. Lisa Wilcox was a character.
Are you gonna talk about the
I don't know. I mean, 'cause there was a thing going around, right? I think Matt mentioned it first because he heard it through his friends on Saturday Night Mayor's Dead Pit, CK and Uncle Bill, I think, or whatever. Something about Tuesday Night and Lisa Wilcox being lesbian lovers on the set of Nightmare 4.
Oh, not on the set. It's just after they started the business together.
What do you mean? Like after they finished, you mean?
After they did the bracelets or something like that?
Yeah, it's like after that, her and Tuesday Night, they did this business. Yeah, like you said, like footwear jewelry.
Yeah.
Oh, they were doing jewelry. Oh, I see.
It was called like Toe Brights or something.
Oh.
Not light bright, no toe.
So you mean tell me they were doing something kinky to each other with their toes?
With the playing footsie? Is that what you can get with the lesbian overtones? Just
I don't know.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna play with your foot.
No offense to anybody out there. I mean, it's just there was a thing going around like that. Now, whether it's true or not, I know it's none of our business. I know people are gonna say you bunch of pervs. Look, it was rumors going around way before we said it. You know, so it's not we're not the only one that mentioned this shit.
Yeah.
But basically, I don't know if there was a story going around like that. I don't know if it was for publicity. That's why I'm curious about the documentary. Because they got Tuesday Night to come back and Lisa Wilcox. I'm curious if they touch on it. I don't think they would. They'd be like, none of your
I
business.
always remember the MTV styles really well.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it had that MTV vibe to it.
Cool songs. You had Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah, I love that Sinead O'Connor song.
What's the name of that song?
Yeah. Put your arms around me, put around me, something like that.
I love that song at the end credits. They're like, put your arms around me.
Yeah, Sinead O'Connor and got a good soundtrack. Don't be afraid of your dreams.
Yeah.
Bing,
There's some
bing,
really
bing,
bad
bing, bing, bing.
songs though. Isn't there that really bad? No, that's in the next one. Never mind. Part 5 is a horrible end credit song.
No, part 5 is just. Anyway, we'll get to that when we come next. But
I think we
part
also
4
mentioned
the finale.
The what? Rennie Harlan, awesome job, direction. Why?
Hey, Matt, is this the one where there was a story in the Labyrinth where they talked about there was sugar glass or something that broke and it melted?
Oh, that was part 5.
Okay, we'll talk about part 5.
Alright, but part 4, Rennie Harlan, direction was great. You could tell they did the creators, Bob Shea or somebody, must have seen Prison first, and they go, wait a minute, this guy should do a Freddy movie, and then they got him to do this, and he did a good job.
Also,
A lot of energy.
You know Linnea Quigley?
Oh, that's right, she makes an appearance there, exactly.
It's actually in the Body of Souls.
Yeah, that scene where Freddy's dying. You see her actually, the titties really pushed up against there.
Stephen King's World of Horror. That, believe it or not, my mom's friend Troy's mother actually crazy into horror films. And she had a World of Horror, and I was like, this is fascinating. I watched it. It was unbelievably cool. And I'm still trying to track down this show, because I think it was on cable TV. and it showed behind the scenes stuff on movies.
Yeah.
Like that part 4, and they showed how they did the whole sequence. Which this entire part of this documentary though is not on the DVD. There's the separate stuff, the footage they have, but it's not the same thing. And what's really amazing how they did this is they created a giant fucking Freddy Krueger for the finale, folks.
Yeah.
Giant Freddy. And they had these kind of like embryonic, kind of sack, kind of, weird looking rubber, things.
Yeah.
And it had models, people. Linnea Quigley was one of them.
Hey, topless, I remember. I remember that scene, you seen the tail, like, why is that girl big titties trying to come out of Freddy? But fuck it. I go with it, whatever it is. Yeah, I remember I seen Linnea Quigley, like, Linnea Quigley, really?
Freddy.
Yeah.
They had people actually break out of life-size Freddy.
Yeah.
It's really crazy looking at the making of it. It's phenomenal. Look at all this giant Freddy Krueger's chest and all these moving parts and people. But you don't see that anymore.
Wow.
It's CGI like shit.
But I remember this film. I love the film. I
Although
think
it is weird that Freddy dies because he looked at himself in the mirror.
Yeah, evil's reflection.
Well, Robert Englund's afraid himself looking in the mirror.
Maybe that was the inside joke, because that whole thing about him waking up with the makeup on.
That was one thing I never understood. Like, how come he died because he looked in the mirror?
The evil cannot look at his own reflection or something.
I just kind of forgot about that because of the crazy ass some effects at the end.
It was well done,
and the climax between.
That's a good idea. I think that's the best Freddy kill. And then
the Freddy being killed, yeah. And the whole thing, I love that one-on-one showdown.
Rip his head off and stuff.
Yeah, the one-on-one showdown between Alice with already all the powers of her friends' souls in her, and going up against Freddy. Mano a mano, hand to hand.
That's a good sequence too.
Exactly.
One of my favorite climax of the film.
Yeah, exactly. Freddy getting his ass kicked, fist to fist, fisticuffs.
And then also, just a great idea. The fact it's gory, but it's very effective. That his souls that he's captured all these years are just killing him, breaking through his body, and
exactly,
mouth and stuff like that. And
I would say this is really the last sequel I feel I really enjoyed. Because the next two after this is like,
I'm honestly not gonna. I have a little higher regard for New Nightmare, but
New Nightmare. Wait a minute. I'm saying like in the basic, from 1 through 4, like for this time period, those are my favorite. I think part 4 was the last good one, but for New Nightmare reinvented it
for the 80s.
For 80s, yeah, exactly. For 80s, that's the right word I'm using for. For 80s, yes,
80s.
Yeah.
Well, we only have one more in the 80s.
That's true.
Which is the Rush.
And I saw this on the big screen, folks.
Are we gonna rate part 4?
Rating on 4, I would give it 10 out of 10.
What's your final thought, Mike?
I would give it. It's a very solid film, very entertaining.
Exactly.
Follows up on part 3. I just don't like the fact Kincaid gets killed. That's just.
Dream Warriors get killed too easy. Okay.
It's too easy. And maybe if Kincaid got killed in a different way, maybe I would.
Like if it would have been more of maybe a stand-up fight or something. I mean, like a little more.
He just got killed like like a pussy, like you said.
He just got ground out of nowhere. Freddy's back, and then that's it. Unless there was a scene that was cut, maybe, because the way it looks kind of like jumpy. Like maybe something was cut out of it or something. I don't know. Maybe they'll talk about it.
Think about that.
Well, maybe some stuff got cut out. I don't know what, but we'll find that out in the documentary.
Yeah. Good score, good effects.
Yeah.
George.
Good cast once again.
I'm gonna have to give you a round of applause for that. And just Freddy as MTV, but at the best the last of the really cool pop culture.
Exactly. That's the exact words.
So what rating out of 4?
Out of 4, I would give it 3.5, just right along with part 2 for me. So because I can't really give it 3 1/4. That's just weird. So,
well, despite Kincaid, the Dream Warriors being killed off easy, but the special effects are great. I mean, I know it's MTV Freddy, like Mike was saying, but it's the last good MTV Freddy, I could say. And the score, the soundtrack, the cast, everybody does a good job, and the creative way that Freddy dies in the end is creative. I love that.
Guilty pleasures on the soundtrack is a song called Therapist.
I don't think I heard that one.
Elm Street music, you know, the down.
I think I might have heard it when you uploaded it one time. I don't remember it too much. But you know, the whole thing with Fat Boys and Are You Ready for Freddy? I had fun with that song.
Fucking song to listen to. And also didn't Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff do a Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 thing too?
I don't remember if they did.
They did a Freddy rap, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember. I don't know if it's on the. I don't think it's on the soundtrack though.
It's not on the soundtrack. They did it on one of their other. Albums. But they did do a Freddy rap.
No, but on closing on Nightmare 4, I will give it 10 out of 10. I mean, it's awesome film. The last good pop icon of Freddy. Put him on,
My final thought is, ever since I was a kid, if I had to pick a favorite, this was mine.
Yeah.
Because I know there's two camps. There's people who love
Dark Freddy
and people who love more lively. For some reason, I was more interested in the more lively Freddy of 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But I always loved 4.
I definitely agree. The Dark Freddy, he's good. He's creepy.
Yeah.
But you know, you just have fun with the lighter Freddy in Part 3
yeah.
and 4. It makes you think twice about yourself. Like,
Exactly.
Like, why am I so like laughing and having a good time?
But I think they were doing that around this time period too, because remember, Jason was out there too, you know, and I guess people were starting to have fun.
Jason doesn't have cool one-liners.
No, but the whole idea, I'm talking about the tone of the films were changing though. I mean, exactly. Like in Part 6 came out in 1986, a year before this one.
That's one of my favorite ones too.
Mine too, exactly. But the whole thing about you know how, okay, you had kills going on, but they were not taking it that serious. At least at that tone. So I guess maybe New Line was trying to counter Paramount, because they seen parts. Jason Lives made all that money. They said, okay, let's do something like this with Freddy. Let's go a little lighter with it, but not too light. He still can cook people, but we got make something like jokes or dialogue, and that's what they do with this one, though.
He was still sort of scary in these two films.
Yeah, sort of. Keyword, sort of. You know, but the creativity was there, though.
The fourth one, he's not as scary in the third one as the third film. Because he's still kind of freaky in the third one. I mean,
yeah, because he's still a little bit in the dark. You know, a little bit dark. But from 1 through 4, I mean, those are the ones I would watch over and over again.
Same
you know,
here.
and those are the ones I got no problems with.
Next we got.
Well, let me finish my final thought.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
That's alright. Like I was saying before, the reason this was my favorite because I was saying about there's two camps. I always liked this one. I was more interested. I thought Rennie Harlan did energetic direction. I thought the dream sequences were well done. The death scenes, the soundtrack, and I really liked Lisa Wilcott's character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think this will always be my personal fan favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we can move to Part 5, which was the big stumbling stop.
Yeah.
The Dream Child.
And this is an example of what happens. Because remember, Nightmare 4 made all that money in 1988. The year before that,
what happens
when you rush sequels. And this is the year in which a lot of sequels to horror franchises were rushed and they were not doing well. Halloween 5, Friday 13 Part 8, and this one. And they were. This is why I guess the slasher stuff started declining now.
Well, honestly, out of those three, this has at least, I don't know, maybe it still sucks, but
I can say one thing. I seen this in the big screen. I saw this in the movie theater, and I remember the trailer I seen for this movie. When I was seeing this in the movie theater, the trailer I seen, which I got knocked out by, was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. That whole, you know, the chainsaw coming out of the river and catching it.
Thing.
Yeah, I know it's cheesy, but it was fun. Everybody cheered at the theater like, oh shit, Leatherface, wow. You know, the producer of Nightmare on Elm Street, the real terror begins. You know,
because it makes you think it's some fantasy movie. Right?
Yeah, but it's a good introduction. Even though I know people were like pissed off, why are they going fantasy? But fuck it, they were going with it because Bob Shea was producing it now. Even though he fucked it up. Exactly.
It tricked you.
But I enjoyed it though. Fuck it, I love that camp.
Though,
but this movie, I don't know.
It's a case of a clusterfuck of a script.
It's directed by Stephen Hopkins, who will go on to direct a better sequel.
Regardless of what.
He will go on to direct Predator 2. which is a better
I think he
sequel.
redeemed himself with Predator 2.
Exactly.
Predator 2 is classic.
It is. Predator's
I
classic.
don't know why people bash that film.
There's no Arnold. It's silly to have it in the city.
Because
Well, if Arnold did Predator 2,
No Terminator 2.
no, most people bash it because of Danny Glover.
But it's not like they got Eddie Murphy to do it. You know what the fuck?
Well, they
Danny
said I don't
Glover
believe
does.
Danny Glover would do this. I don't believe Danny Glover is an action hero. That's what
Have
At
you
least
ever
when I
seen Lethal
reviewed.
Weapon?
they said, oh, he's too overweight, or he's too this, too slow, whatever.
Well, he was in some of his best shape.
He was
ever.
actually in decent shape in Predator
I know.
2.
I'm just saying that's what when I reviewed Predator 2, they said I don't buy Danny Glover as an action hero.
That's sad though. I mean, he actually did a good job.
Some sidekick.
Well, Matt Damon is buff, and I don't buy him as an action hero either.
Danny Glover could kick Matt Damon's ass. At least back then. I don't know about now though.
Yeah, I
But
bought him, so
Yeah.
I never understood the argument, but that's
Yeah.
the argument that was.
Well,
This
Nightmare
film-
Part 5, it's just, like I said, it's a clusterfuck of a film that doesn't know what it wants to
Yeah.
do.
well, it's a good idea. I remember when me and Matt talked about this on the History of
And the whole
Slasher.
thing about,
It's a good idea, but I think
streaming, okay.
Well,
You know,
here's the idea for people who don't know. I mean, after Part 4, Alice and her boyfriend are together,
Dan, yeah.
and she has dreams of this, like, Amanda Cruder.
Yes.
And I don't know how the fuck Freddy comes back, so I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
But
I don't even remember. Was it something like,
well, when she's dreaming, she sees like Amanda Cruder in the asylum, and then there's the gurney, and then gives birth to Freddy. And like,
You see a Freddy baby, folks. It
Yeah.
looks really terrible. Like, it looks very crappy.
It's got a real big head. It just kind of burns a little bit. And then it ends up going to the same church, I guess, where Alice must have killed Freddy, and crawls out into the clothes. And Freddy's without shoes and with long, extra long arms. It's a boy! And then he falls down. And I mean, I guess they were trying to go for gothic terror. They were
They
trying.
go from part 4 and then go to this crap. It's a boy.
I think they were trying to go back, but it's written by David J. Skrull, I think, who's the writer of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. And this movie, when they tested it to a test audiences, they didn't get that much good results.
well, they're trying to be more gothic.
Gothic, yeah.
I
And
didn't like that though because it didn't work. Because for one, you have this gothic dark undertone.
I didn't find that. It's just Freddy.
It was ridiculous. Freddy, that's what I was saying. Gothic dark undertone. And then you
But
got this
Freddy
ridiculous
is-
cheesy Freddy.
Freddy's annoying.
So that doesn't fit.
This is the
It's
one
like-
time, and only time I can say Robert Englund gave a bad performance.
But I'm
Yeah.
guessing maybe the reason he really wasn't 100% in this Freddy character is because at the
Right.
same time he was working in Phantom of the Opera, that horror film.
When was that
He was
TV
probably
show?
putting
What happened?
Freddy's Nightmare.
Nightmare Cafe.
No,
Oh,
Freddy's
no, it was
Nightmares.
Freddy's Nightmares.
Freddy's Nightmares was around this time too, I believe.
So he just did part 4, he's doing part 5, then he's doing
Yeah.
Freddy's TV.
And then plus Phantom of the Opera. So the
he's
man's
always-
busy.
Yeah.
And then plus he's directing.
He's
He's also directing the 976 Evil movie too. So the man's busy.
And he really was
Exhausted.
He put a lot into Phantom because of his Shakespearean background, and he really wanted to put.
He wanted to do something a little different, I
The
guess, to step away a little bit from
I
Freddy.
can't hate the movie. Like, it's my least favorite, but the reason I don't hate it, I do like the idea.
The idea's a good idea.
of
The idea of
baby-
babies dreaming. It is.
Yeah, I mean, unborn baby.
With the kid that looks like shitty business. Remember that kid?
Yeah.
What you say?
But I was gonna say, like, okay, you have an idea of, okay, who's in a perpetual sleep? An unborn baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Freddy's gonna roll through the back door. And now back door someone's ass, but
Good one.
Back door of Dreamscape. That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Freddy's half-assed.
And Alice doesn't do jack shit on this movie.
Well,
Have you seen the stop motion
the
shit in the
motorcycle.
fridge? I
Except
hate
the
the
motorcycle.
The motorcycles also.
The motorcycle
Okay,
death
good.
I enjoyed. I actually enjoyed that because
I really
seeing
like
that in a
this.
packed theater, everybody reacted to it. Seeing like this boy has a need for speed. Ha I love that scene. I mean, but
and
it's a little bit more violent in the unrated cut.
only by a couple of seconds. It's not much though. I seen the extended cut.
A couple of seconds.
For a couple of seconds, that ain't much. A little bit.
If you release it, it should be R-rated today.
It wasn't R-rated. It was still R-rated, wasn't it?
I mean, I'm just saying, if you put those seconds in and did it today,
it would be R-rated. It wouldn't be anything else. But there's actually a little bit more. I don't think it's just only the bike scene. I think there's an extra 2 minutes of sequences in there.
But it's just two little minutes though. That's all it is. Him being peeled a little bit more. But now the way that Dan looks when he's peeled off, is it me or do you notice he looks a little bit like Ghost Rider?
It's like Ghost Rider.
Yeah, without the flames, right?
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah.
Yeah, think about it. Like if Ghost Rider was made in the '80s, it would look like.
It kind of looks like the Wraith. If the Wraith is turned into a bike or something like that.
I do think the comic book is an interesting idea.
Isn't that the later one?
No, it's this one, the comic book.
Oh, the one with they got that big muscular guy, a big fat guy to play Freddy. Actually, that guy. He was a.
I thought that was part 5.
No, it's part 5. This one, that guy, the one that you see there,
was in part 6.
The one that plays the Super Freddy, he was a winner in a Freddy contest that they had on TV. He won for an appearance, and that was his prize. He got a chance to play Freddy for a couple of seconds. Super Freddy.
It's an interesting idea.
I don't know the guy's name though. I remember. I think it was.
What is the whole thing? What is the line he says? Like,
quicker than faster than any maniac. And wow, they.
Let me. I can't remember word for word, but it's. I don't know what something about it. It doesn't work. It could have worked better. I like the idea.
Yeah.
It was very cartoonish looking. Maybe that's why, right?
The kills after that Dan motorcycle thing gets like half-assed.
The freaking fridge. I can't stand when that chick opens the fridge or whatever, and is that the one where the vegetables and dancing around?
No, that's the one where he sees her friend choking. Her friend's is a model. She doesn't want to eat.
I'm confused with another shit.
Stuff in her face. Yeah.
Someone opens the fridge. I don't remember what movie this was. But someone opens the fridge and there's these freaking, stuff's moving around and shit, and it's horrible. So,
going back to, I didn't know why the comic book thing didn't work, because the guy turns into this stupid-ass superhero that... With
the Phantom Prowler.
The skateboarder, right? The skateboarding guy, right?
He was a skateboarding guy, but he was like a cartoonist. He was always drawing stuff.
That phrase, like, faster than faster man, more powerful than local madman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super Freddy, and it's like, that's silly.
Yeah.
It is silly.
I liked him turn the paper. I mean, I thought it was interesting. The fact.
And then all the colors come off the paper. Oh, then he just
better.
Yeah.
And the death scenes, there's not that many.
There's not that many. The body count diminishes.
He kills the chick by... stuffing her full of food, which is Greta.
And then Freddy's not funny.
He's not.
He's sort of neither.
But granted, I will agree that it wasn't.
Because honestly,
it wasn't Robert Englund's fault though.
Brutal. It's just stupid looking. Bon appetit. It seems like
it's like in your face. It's like forcing you to laugh. That's what they're trying to do. They're really forcing you to laugh. But that happens once again is when studios try to cram out a sequel after a sequel after a sequel, and sometimes you drop the ball,
I think Child's Play 3 could have been a lot better if they get more time, because Child's Play 2 is actually...
Exactly. They could have... Sometimes the absence makes the heart grow fonder, but these studio motherfuckers never listen.
Actually, Efree, about Super Freddy...
Yeah.
You'll be surprised.
That's
Michael Bailey Smith.
That's Michael Bailey? Wow. That's that dude from your Savage, yeah.
It's the thing from the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And Pluto from Hills of Eyes remake.
Yeah. That's the same mutant that Matt was fighting in the movie, folks. Doug, yeah.
He played Super Freddy.
Yeah, that's him. Wow.
Yeah.
I heard it was some guy that won a contest. I don't know if that was him or what. That's what somebody was telling me. There was somebody that won a contest at the time.
Was there a death scene involvement? I just don't remember the death scenes.
There's forgettable death scenes. Alice does not do much. Doesn't do nothing in this movie.
There was only like 3 of them. There was Dan, there was the comic book guy, and there was the girl getting stuff.
That's it.
Imagine, folks, Imagine a Friday the 13th film with only 3 death scenes.
They don't have that. That's what you don't have it.
Plus, they have a lot of problems. The little kid looks like a chud. He does. He looks like a chud that you don't care about because he looks too fucking ugly.
Now the kid, like I remember the exact word you used, Matt. It's shitty business. As you say.
Is that the kid when he gets all possessed has that pudding face, that old face, I like to call it?
That's that same kid that he wasn't. He had a small part in the Addams Family movie, the first one.
He looks fucked Gomez, little kid.
No, that was the kid, the one that kept getting his cheeks squeezed a lot.
No.
I don't remember. I think that was an Addams Family or whatever. Addams Family. First
was that the guy, the nerdy guy that went out with that Wednesday Addams?
No, that's the second one. This is the first one, the first Addams Family movie. But anyway, the reason I don't like this film is that, like Matt was saying and Mike was saying, it was rushed. If Freddy was out of energy, Alice. The what? The ending was lame. And Alice does shit.
How did she? She didn't do anything.
She didn't do nothing.
She killed off again.
She didn't get killed off. She didn't do nothing.
You have the kid. Amanda says. Well,
Jacob
was saying, "Hey, you have the power."
So the kid really takes off Freddy.
I have the power.
Does he have the power of graceful or something?
He's got the power. There you go.
I've got the power.
You put that H-Block song there with the little kid.
Fuck, that guy doesn't deserve it. I don't know what the hell he does. Like, basically, somehow Freddy turns back into a baby.
And then it goes back inside Amanda, and then
the arms come out of his back. And then, like, pulling them back.
It's a really shitty
and then the baby comes out. Yeah, it's very let down.
And then the whole thing where the baby, Freddy goes back inside his mother, Amanda. His glove, his arm comes out of Amanda, and the doors close, and then break. Rah, boom, rah, boom.
I also remember the carriage. That was that even in the movie? The freaking carriage they had on all the...
I don't know if it was.
I don't think they had the carriage.
I don't think it was, no. It's on the poster. I remember on the poster.
There's no spiked carriage.
Now, I know people are wondering how come I said I didn't hate the movie, because it's hard for me to hate a Freddy movie, because, you know, it's...
I'm going to be honest. I don't hate it, but
I like the gothic.
I do not like this.
I like the story.
I don't hate it. I can't say I like it.
It's the movie. Okay, it's the.
soundtrack has some good. Okay, the soundtrack. Okay, here's some good songs on it. Wasp song is not bad.
The one that shows up in the damn end credits.
I hate that song.
It just makes no sense.
What does that have to do with Freddy? It's just
and the music video is ridiculous. You see some guys dancing like they're Freddy. That makes no sense. Kumoldi, yeah. Yeah, Kumoldi music video.
Kumoldi is stupid. I hate that song. Because I like the Houdini song.
I thought you said Kumite.
Nah, Kumoldi. He does some better songs. That's not one of his good songs, though. I mean, I don't know.
The Houdini song's not that bad. I gotta be honest. It's a good dance track, and it introduced me to Heaven in the Backseat by what the fuck are their name again? I uploaded their entire album on.
I know. At one point you did.
Oh, Heaven in the Backseat. It's
Romeo's Daughter.
Romeo's Daughter introduced me to that band, so I think they're an underrated band. But yeah,
this has just a lot of shitty decisions.
Yeah.
I mean, even Lisa Wilcox doesn't look like she's in it.
That's what I'm saying. She's just there to pick up the check. Okay, I'm in the Nightmare movie. Okay, bye. That's it.
Now that she didn't have much to do, I can't blame her. They never really...
Yeah,
exactly.
England, it's worse than, his Freddy and,
But I think what it is, like I was saying before, Robert Englund, he was very, very, very busy, and tired,
They're wearing him so thin.
Yeah.
He's got Freddy's Nightmares he's toasting weekly. He's doing Family Opera, and he's directing 1976 Evil. Like,
yeah.
The whole goddamn motherfucking shit, man. No, I'm surprised if they put the makeup on and be like...
If you notice in Freddy's Nightmares, the makeup looks very different than the one in the movie.
Yeah.
It looks like very, like a little bit, not perfect, but a little, like, foamish at times. I don't know why. Like, it don't look fleshy, though.
Like the makeup in part 2.
Yeah, a little bit. Like, and Freddy's Nightmares, that is, folks. But
just briefly talk about the TV series that came around the same time as this film.
It's basically kind of like Freddy Krueger's take on Tales from the Crypt.
Talk about part 5. One more.
Once in a while, Freddy himself will be in one of the episodes himself.
Yeah.
Once in a while.
Really good episode. That's the first episode.
No, but in a couple of them, sometimes he's in a couple of them. 1 or 2.
No More Mr. Nice Guy, directed by Toby Hooper, and it shows in a television format, but very effective episode. Freddy and the whole thing with the community, and you know how they burn him alive.
Yeah.
Have you seen the show? Have you seen the pilot episode before that?
Yeah.
It's
actually
very
interesting for a TV show.
Yeah. And this used to come on. I remember I used to watch it on
This
Channel
show,
9 Saturday night at 11 p.m.
I have the unofficial DVD set, and it had a lot of flack from parents. Of course, the PTA was all like, "Oh my God, okay, it's on 11 o'clock at night."
Saturday nights.
It's the bed anyway, so there.
I wasn't in bed. I was awake watching. Like, wow, Freddy, really? Wow.
It's pretty good. When I've watched some of the episodes recently, they're pretty gruesome. I mean,
They are. I mean, they really. And you had one episode that was with Jeffrey Combs. That was Jeffrey Combs at the pizza shop.
Yeah.
And he actually. Go ahead, Mike.
Was Flip Burgers. He was that guy at that burger place.
Yeah.
And it's always these crazy ass twists in the show that come out of left field. Like, you don't ever expect this shit. Especially in that episode. Something to do with Guy flipping burgers, seeing some guy shoot him, and then he ends up in a fucking crazy ass hospital. It's like, what the?
Yeah.
You're just watching these episodes like, what the hell? And basically part 5, not a very memorable soundtrack, not a very memorable film. Interesting backstories, the whole thing with the sugar glass, which they talk about in the DVD. I'm trying to remember exactly what I talked about. Where they had sugar glass set up. You remember, Matt? They had sugar glass set up for some sequence.
Oh, it was I think at the end.
Yeah.
When they blow in the doors, because at the last shot where Amanda Kruger, like all these doors.
Yeah, I see with the doors.
And they blow out. I think when they blew them out, it was like sugar candy or something.
Sugar glass, and
They did
it in a place that was super hot, like it was super blazing hot outside.
Yeah, basically they all stuck to their shoes and they
melted. It melted and it was all just congealed on the floor. It took them hours to get it off the fucking floor.
Yeah.
But my final thought on part 5, it's interesting idea, just
executed badly
up in many ways.
Terrible execution.
Yeah.
Terrible execution. Steve Hopkins, who was this his first directorial debut?
Yeah.
I think,
first directorial debut.
His first.
It's just, bad cat. I mean, I'd say bad cat is just no characters.
There is nothing really that we care about.
You got to attribute to England was probably exhausted.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, the way he looked tired. He looked tired when you were watching the film. The makeup looked even worse. The Freddy makeup, like Garfield, they looked foam. They looked like foam.
Actually, Stephen Adkins had done a film before called Dangerous Game.
Oh, that one. That was actually pretty clever. It's the one
a young computer expert and their friends managed to disable the department store security system so they can break in. Once inside, they find themselves stopped by a killer.
Oh.
That's actually a pretty solid film.
I gotta look that up.
To be suspended
low budget.
Earlier that day.
Low budget Australian film. It's got a lot going for it. I remember watching.
I gotta look that up. I wonder if I see a trailer somewhere on YouTube.
I uploaded a trailer. One of the first trailers I uploaded.
Oh yeah. Okay.
On my Rookie 87 channel. But anyway.
So what would you rate it?
What would I rate it?
Yeah.
Well, out of 4 stars, I gotta be honest.
Please be. I've rated that.
I'm leaning towards either 1.5 or 2.
Yeah, I would do that.
And so 2 is fair, so I'm gonna give it 1.5 because I just can't call it a fair film either.
Yeah.
Well, my thoughts on the film.
This is crazy to say, but freaking James Cameron's Piranha 2 Spawning has more going for it because it's, I don't know, cheesy, but it's.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. But.
I wouldn't go that far, but I would definitely say that part 5, I think. Part 6. I think part 6 is better.
On part 5, it's not one that I like to watch at all. Once I see the scene, if they give it on TV and I see the scene, what happens to Dan on the motorcycle, like, okay, cool. I shut it off. I mean, I agree wholeheartedly with Matt. It's a good idea, and I agree with Mike. It's a good idea, but badly executed because this is what happens all the time when you rush a fucking sequel.
Because when you watch the documentary too, the hidden stuff in the labyrinth, they talk about it how it was rough.
Exactly, it feels like it was rushed. I mean, 1989. This is a bad year for the icons because you got Friday 13 Part 8 we talked about, and of course Halloween 5. You know, they rushed, you know.
I do like the whole thing with the womb. I like the weird dream sequence.
As I'm saying, it's a good idea. The thing with the wound and how Freddy's going through the back door to get this. It's just that, I don't know, like the characters, I didn't root for nobody now this time. Like, Alice, I mean, granted, it's not Lisa Wilcox's fault.
Alice either, because her personality was just strained.
Yeah, like, I don't know, it's like, you go from going toe-to-toe with Freddy in Part 4, now it's like...
She doesn't do much.
You don't do nothing. You know, it's like, help.
I have a baby to take care of. I can't,
You know, you don't do nothing. You know, then, okay, the cast. I know you got the comic book guy I didn't give a fuck about. Yeah, you got their friend, the tough girl, who lives in the end. I gotta admit, the black girl lives. She don't get killed. Okay. You got Freddy's jokes falling flat.
Yes.
Bon appetit. Besides that thing with Need for Speed with the motorcycle death, which is the only highlight.
Well, I don't think... I mean, think about it. There's only 3 deaths.
That's it. 3 deaths, low body count. And, okay, Freddy's hardly in it. When he's in it, he does nothing, which is not Robert Englund's fault. The man was working very hard doing this timeline, and they told him to...
89, man.
88. He was cramping him out, you know, and maybe that's why it took a breather before the next movie came along, which was the final one, supposedly.
Yeah,
but this is the one that... I don't watch very much. I seen it on the big screen. It was good to see it on the big screen, but at home, nah. If I know if I get the box set, I'm gonna be stuck with it. But I'll hold it there, but I'll probably watch it less. You know, I won't hate it, but I won't watch it less.
I have done rated VHS, so.
But it's only a couple of seconds, though. From what I've heard, it's not much.
But for collectors' terms.
For collectors' terms, yeah.
I mean, you know, for collectors.
So what would you rate it?
For rating, I will give this one pretty much 5 out of 10 because it's one that I really don't watch.
If I was gonna give it a 10, I'd probably give it more like a 3. But that's why I give it 1.5 stars.
Maybe a 5 out of 10, or maybe a 4 out of 10, pretty much.
I really don't care for this film. It's my least favorite for the franchise.
It is the least favorite. I think it's the decline, pretty much the decline of it.
The song just aggravates me because it's just about a feud between Kumo D and what's his name.
They just threw it out of nowhere. It doesn't belong there compared to the soundtrack of the 4th film, you know.
Yeah, I hate the soundtrack.
Yeah, but for 4 out of 10.
In the backseat and WAP's song, which I can't remember the fucking name of the song.
I would rather watch Robert Englund's Phantom of the Opera than this one, which I found was okay.
And real quick about Freddy's Nightmares. For those who haven't seen it, I know it's going to be hard to find it. There are some episodes online on ITV, that AOL thing. I don't know if it's still around. But
you think Hulu has any episodes?
No, they don't have it.
They don't have it? Ah, that's terrible. Hulu.
Well, Freddy's Nightmares is a show that it's on Chiller if you have Chiller.
Yeah, but what time they give it though? At one point they used to give it at 5 o'clock, then they changed the time on them. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, I don't know when, but check your TV guide.
Yeah.
But I'm lucky enough to got an actual unofficial DVD set for $10.
You're lucky shit. You're lucky motherfucker.
They're mostly based. Some of them are VHS rips, so they're not the best of quality. But
I'm wondering now with the remake coming out, will somebody get a hold of the TV series and give it good?
Brothers owns the rights, and they're just sitting on it.
They're not gonna release it officially then,
But I wish, even though CBS Paramount did a pretty shitty job with the releases of Tales of the Dark Side and Friday the 13th, since they didn't have any special features whatsoever.
Yeah.
And rescored some music. But it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I got season 1 of Friday the 13th series. I gotta get season 2, I think.
We're in the same boat there, but Freddy's Nightmares is one of the better anthology shows.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I agree.
It's pretty underrated. There's a very good episode about a scarecrow, which a lot of people from that time who liked the show do remember.
There's one episode I seen that I had fun with Jeffrey Combs, that he owns this pizza shop and he's killing this kid's friends and making them part of the pizza.
I have fun with that episode. It's a very dark episode of syndicated TV. It's a dark show of syndicated TV. Without a doubt.
It is.
It would not be on syndicated TV now. It would probably be TVMA
It is. The content is pretty graphic. I mean.
And in the show, very graphic. And Freddy, Robert has the same personality, and he just shows up every once in a while in little segments during the.
Oh, sometimes I remember he was in 1 or 2 episodes at one point.
Well,
not many.
Episodes.
He was
those little crazy pop-up sequences he has. Well, there'd be a break in the action before the commercial.
Because I remember there was one episode that was about him. I think there was something about.
That's the first episode.
No, there was another one I remember in which.
Trick or Treat.
Was
Trick
that?
or Treat is what it's called. Trick or Treat with young Mark Hellenberg.
I remember that was the one where these people were videotaping nightmares and dreams.
Yes, that's Trick or Treat. It's
Yeah.
not Mark Hellenberger. It's Mariska Hargitay is in it from Law and Order.
Yeah.
And that's a very cool episode too.
The idea they're trying to record nightmares to find out what nightmares are, and Freddy ends up killing one of the people.
It's a cool, weird dream where she's having a dream about her and showing her assets, so to speak.
Oh.
Like she's pretty or whatever, and the one guy's just staring at it like, "Come on, take your top off. Come on. No, don't wake up. Don't wake up." The guy that was doing the experiments sort of reminds me of one of the Nightmare Dream Warrior guys, and he kind of reminds me of Joey, the way he acts. He's all into this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Trying to help her. It's got a crazy... Trick or Treat is on... Well, some of the episodes are on VHS. Trick or Treat is one of them. So there's nice.
Well,
There's one called It's My Party and I'll Die If I Want To. And the problem is the VHS I have has horrible tracking issues, but I didn't know that. But anyway, Freddy's Nightmares worth a look if you can find it.
Yeah.
If you're a Freddy fan.
I mean, I remember catching him when they used to give him on TV back then at Saturday nights, which was very strange. At Saturday nights at 8 o'clock on Channel 11, I used to watch War of the Worlds from the TV series, which is better than the fucking Tom Cruise movie. Well, it's on DVD. I gotta get that. And Friday 13th series, talk about a hell of a double feature. And
I think the series is a very solid series too.
Yeah, it was very solid. John D. LeMay. I think the weakness of the thing is the title, because Jason has nothing to do with it. It's about cursed antiques,
Superstition? You better call it Superstition.
Yeah. Get Stevie Wonder's music. Very superstitious, from the thing, But anyway,
Friday the 13th is a series to check out too.
Here's a good one. But now we're going off to the one that came a little bit, which is not the Final Nightmare, but
kind of close. Now, for one, I do like this film better than Part 5 because it does have some enjoyable moments.
Because what happened was this time out, it took a little time off. They didn't do it right away. It came out in 1991. So,
and the director,
Rachel Tahaley.
She was begging.
Tahaley, yeah.
She's been producer. She's been a lot involved with all the original films.
And she's also the same director who will go on to direct Ghost in the Machine. I think Mike's favorite movie, Tank Girl. Mike's favorite movie.
She directed my favorite? What?
I thought that was your favorite movie, Tank Girl. Yeah, you, Tank Girl.
It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I have to.
See, alright, he made it. Tank Girl. He likes Tank Girl. It's alright.
Like Malcolm McDowell.
They gave it on cable the other night. I took back then when I seen it, and now I still can't get into that damn movie. I don't know why.
It's just weird. It has its fans, and it has a lot of people who don't like it. I just like the animated sequences in it a lot. And the kangaroos are just...
I like the soundtrack, that song with Ice-T. She walks softly and carry back. I like that song. It doesn't belong in the movie, but
Oh, I remember that song.
Yeah, but Freddy's Dead, I felt okay. It was a little bit of a step up from Nightmare 5. You had Yaphet Kotto, Lisa Zane, a very young Breckin Meyer before Robot Chicken, and of course Garfield.
Really good, the whole thing where the kid falls out of a plane, I thought that was a really cool thing.
Yeah.
The whole thing where he's making all the places Elm Street, like all of a sudden Elm Street, there's an Elm Street on every corner.
Every town has an Elm Street.
That's an Elm Street.
Yeah, but I do like the film. I mean, there's problems. It just gets too goofy. I mean,
definitely.
It does.
The video game sequence irks me. I use that.
The video game sequence I had fun with. I had fun with that.
Got the power glove.
Great graphics.
I like it. I don't know why.
Great graphics.
But the problem that bothered me about it, I didn't like the cameos with Roseanne and Tom. I didn't like that part. I hated that.
Alice Cooper came in.
Alice Cooper was nice to have in there.
I like the whole thing with the little kid when you see in the trailer Little Freddy, you know.
Yeah.
Son of a best maniac, son of a maniac.
And then he actually takes a sledgehammer and smashes, I guess, a hamster or something. He has a
It's nice
hammer.
they touch upon Freddy when he was younger.
Yeah.
And his affiliation for young kids, and the whole thing where it shows him get ready with his glove, and there's a sequence of that.
Oh, the whole thing where
he has a daughter.
he has a daughter.
They never explain that. That's the one thing.
They just pull that out of their ass, pretty much. They're like, oh, we make him have a daughter.
The kid with the hearing aid, that's just a stupid death scene. I'm sorry.
I love it.
It's a fun death scene, but I like it better than the other one with the video. I just can't get into the video game thing. I laugh at it, but it's just ridiculous. Jumping up and down on the stairs repeatedly. They just go boing, 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 boing.
The thing that bothered me was the Wicked Witch of the West.
That
was terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, Freddy's a bus driver. The whole thing. No screaming when the bus is in motion. Ha ha.
I like that.
That's kind of fun. I mean.
I upload the trailer, and I would always reenact it like, no screaming while the bus is in motion.
Yeah, I mean.
I like some of the cast. I like the guy who plays the John Doe.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Yaphet Kotto.
Yaphet Kotto, yeah. Yaphet Kotto.
I thought Robert Englund was in fine form. Had a lot of fun.
Because once again, he had time to preparate and do Freddy better now. Now
we're playing with power. Right? Now we're playing with power.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kung Fu this bitch.
Yeah.
I love the whole thing where, you know, when she cuts off his fingers one by one.
Yeah.
Because I just committed this to memory. I love the scene.
Yeah.
Sticks and stones may break my bones. Nothing will ever kill.
Yeah.
Let's see. First, they tried burning me. And then cuts off his thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tried burying me. But this is my favorite.
Middle finger.
Yeah.
They tried holy water. But I just keep on ticking.
I love the way that's done, though, because if you look real good, his shoulder changes. So, you know, he drops something, and then you see his fingers come.
I also really like the whole thing when, I'm trying to remember exactly. God.
Well, the 3D sequence in the end.
I don't like that sequence. That's one of the problems I don't like. Because
But I gotta admit, I did like the part where Freddy's daughter brings Freddy out to the dream world. And a little bit of that back and forth was a little fun. Give me the glove. You don't know how to use it. And they have a little thing where she bites his nose.
Yeah, but
and she breaks his fingers back.
That's one of the best.
When she breaks his fingers back, he goes, how much it hurts to be human, you know?
Freddy's already been stabbed in the glove once in the franchise.
But I thought they did better in this one.
Yeah, they did.
Definitely do it better in this one. But I mean,
it didn't work.
Yeah.
The 3D did not work at all. That really killed it for me. If they got rid of the 3D, I think it would really.
And then the whole bad gimmick they threw in the last shot. Freddy's dead, and then that's it. Like, wow, really? No shit, you know. But I don't hate this movie. I don't hate this film.
The soundtrack is a big step over Part 5. You know, I'm awake now.
Oh, yeah, Voodoo Dolls, yeah.
Yeah. Or that whole thing in the end credits song where why was I born? Born in this world. And they show a montage of all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I like that.
That's a really good montage.
Yeah, it is.
You even have Johnny Depp in this movie.
Yeah, Johnny Depp makes a cameo
First of all,
with the drug message.
5 came out this came out in 91, right?
Yeah.
Freddy's Dead in 91.
Yeah.
They didn't need the 3D shit, okay? 3D wasn't even used in 91, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Was using that shit because it bombed in the 80s.
Yeah.
So that made no sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, Johnny Depp is in the movie because he's before the video game scene.
Yeah.
Breckenmeyer's high on weed.
And sees Freddy basically beats the shit out of him.
With a frying pan.
Apes.
Do you remember, Matt, when you did your review of this film, you had the 3D glasses? You're like, here we go.
Yeah. They hurt after a while, so, I mean, that's the thing with 3D.
Yeah.
This was one of the only ones I got to see in the theater as a kid.
Cool.
3D glasses?
Yeah, I mean, with any Freddy movie, I didn't see any of the other. This was the first one of the only ones.
I haven't seen any of them in the theater.
The only one I seen was part 5.
None.
And
Zero.
I wish I could have seen part 4
I'm
though.
reluctantly probably going to see the new one because it's free, so I can really properly rain on it.
But it was. I remember having a lot of fun seeing this in the theater, and there's a lot of problems.
I had a lot of fun watching it on my DVD player after.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I have problems with the 3D, some of the goofy choices.
Yeah.
But I like the cast, like you said, like Aftercado,
Yeah.
Meyer. They do a lot of stuff with the dream sequences.
Yeah.
They have a little bit of budget.
Yeah.
Interesting death scenes. I mean,
The hearing aid thing with the spikes, the
when he falls off.
It's kind of like cartoonish, that kill with John Doe falls and lands on the spikes. It almost feels like a cartoon. Freddy drives the bread of spikes, then he walks away and stuff.
I like that sequence. It was pretty effective when he falls out of the plane because it actually looks kind of real. And he's like, "Oh shit!" Ah!
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of problems, but for some reason I have fun with it. I can't.
Well, Freddy's dead. Freddy's dead to me. Go ahead, Mike.
There are nearly as many problems in part 5.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's what I was gonna say. It's not. It feels like a bit of a step up from part 5 because obviously they realized after part 5 bombed, they wanted to pull the plug, and I guess they sort of did that. I mean, they did it with this one, but despite the stupid cameo with Roseanne and stuff, I mean, I didn't mind it that much. Okay, it has a lot less body count like the last movie did, but I don't know. Like, it seemed like Robert Englund was more energetic in this one, though. You know, and I liked it.
I mean, it made up for the body count.
Exactly, a little bit more, you know.
The confrontation in the end.
The confrontation.
Fighting him a bit, and then Lisa Zane.
Lisa Zane, you know. The whole thing where, you know, Lisa Zane's kicking his ass a bit, even though she's no Nancy, she's no Alice, but she did pretty decent, you know.
Sticks out to me from a lot of the rest of the other ones in terms of its tone. It's a lot more lighthearted, but it still has a dark, sadistic tone to it. The whole thing with when young Freddy's getting whipped by Alice Cooper, you know, yeah, give me some more. I like that, Daddy.
He's like one of those weird people that likes cutting himself and stuff, and he's used to pain. Real creepy.
I liked how they touched upon that and showed the backstory of Freddy. Like, okay, like how did he become woke?
That's better than some of the ideas they had for it. I mean, at least based what it said on Wikipedia when I read it.
Oh, yeah?
What are the ideas here? Let me know. Let's hear that.
What the ideas were, Matt?
In the original script, 15-year-old Jacob from the last film was the major character.
Oh, fuck no.
Many of the Dream Warriors, which I don't know how because most of them were dead, so I don't know how. But this is what it says. While many of the Dream Warriors will return to aid Jacob in defeating Freddy after he kills Alice. This idea was later trashed. Peter Jackson also wrote a screenplay, but it wasn't used.
I wonder what his screenplay was like.
Freddy becomes so weak in the dream world that teens made a game out of it by going into a dream world and beating up Freddy. But when Freddy regains enough power to take a boy's father hostage in the dream world, the boy must go there one last time to save his dad.
That sounds stupid. I mean, it sounds like a Freddy movie.
I had though for a sequel.
I know Wikipedia's always right, but I can believe it.
The idea for having the sequel years later was the whole thing where people have forgotten about Freddy. Nobody's scared of him anymore because
Freddy vs. Jason.
So that's like Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
There's a lot of problems with this, but it's better than those ideas.
Yeah.
And
I guess we'll go to the ratings.
Oh my god, let's play this game. What's the game called?
Fuck up Freddy! So I guess final thoughts. My final thoughts on it would be.
Freddy, we're coming for you.
What's your final thoughts?
We're gonna bust your ass. There you go. No, but my final thoughts are is that they ended the franchise, I guess, because they seen 5 wasn't doing much, I guess, and they realized they couldn't do it. So at least this one, they wrapped everything up. Okay, granted, I know the daughter thing they pulled out of their ass pretty much, but it was there. I didn't hate it, you know.
Like is he like a demon?
The what?
Like, you know, like these freaking weird fucking tadpoles thing.
These dream demons that come to Freddy, I guess, where he's getting ready to get burned, and they go inside him, and that's what gives him his power and stuff. But it looked too goofy though, you know, like 2 3D masks or whatever. Anyway, but I don't hate this film compared to Part 5. You know,
I
if I have
hate
to.
it, but I don't.
I
seriously
mean,
dislike that sequence.
I mean, it's got problems. I gotta admit, it has problems.
Don't they look like giant tadpoles? And it almost looks like I can see the strings in that footage.
Well, it's 1991, you know.
Go ahead.
But on rating, I would give it pretty much. Well, I mean, it's better than the 5 in my humble opinion. I would give it maybe a 6 out of 10.
Out of 4, I'd give it 2.5.
Okay, Matt.
It's not exactly 3 stars, which means it's a good film.
What's your rating?
So it's like, all right.
I like this film. I don't really do ratings.
I thought you did.
I like it. I'm not saying
When
I hate
people
it.
see my reviews, I never do ratings. All
Well,
I can say is,
I thought you do though. I remember you did it one time. I don't know. Oh well.
nah, I never
I thought
really
you
do
did.
ratings.
Oh, I didn't know. I know you did it when you had to rate one of the Dusk Till Dawn films. You rated.
Yeah, that was just like a.
Well, the third one sucked. I understand your pain.
Well, okay. Final thought on Freddy's Dead. It has a lot of problems, like everybody says.
It's not as bad as the Hangman's Daughter, right?
No. But the 3D ending was a disappointment.
Yeah.
The some of the goofy tones could have been toned down,
Yeah.
like the Wicked Witch. But I like had a lot of energy, had a lot of effects, a lot of imagination. The dream.
Robert Englund obviously had rest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can tell he obviously had
Robert
rest.
Englund did a great job, and
Yeah.
it looked like they had a lot of. They tried to go all out for the last one.
Yeah, he put a lot of vigor into it. I don't know.
I
He
have
put a lot of
soft
energy.
spot for it too because I actually own a official magazine, movie magazine for Freddy's Dead. I got that from Goodwill, and it has little spots and interviews with the actors and stuff like that.
So
It was supposed to come with 3D glasses, the comic, but the 3D glasses weren't there. In the
I'll
book.
say I like the movie.
Okay.
I like the.
I like it. That's why I gave it 2.5. Means it's fair, but it's
Yeah.
not good. Like I wouldn't put it at the level of, I can't put it with 3 stars for some reason. It just
Right.
doesn't say.
But I can safely say I like it.
I like it. I think it gets bashed more than it needs to be. I mean, God, it's not near as bad as Part 5. Folks.
Yeah, I mean, it is a step up from Part 5. I mean, Robert Englund puts a little more of his A game into this Freddy performance because he's ever
Next, we got one that I feel is without a doubt one
awesome,
of
awesome.
the most imaginative.
Wes
innovative
Craven returns to the director's chair for this one.
which is, I think, honestly, his last truly great film for me.
He really put the exclamation point on this one. I'll be bold enough to say
I
it.
also rank this film New Nightmare above Scream.
I would put New Nightmare in the same realm as the original Nightmare on Elm Street almost. It goes back to that
That's
serious
exactly what I
tone.
put it up to. First of all, it's a brilliant idea. Never been done before.
And that movie is, of course, folks, New Nightmare, by the way.
New Nightmare.
And 1994, was it 90?
Talking about
Yeah, 94,
the
yeah.
actress Heather Langenkamp actually mentioning real life scenarios here,
Yeah.
in the fact that
Well, it takes place in the real world.
That's what's
where
strange about it, yeah.
They're filming the movies.
yes,
And Heather Langenkamp
by
is
filming that, and by
Yeah.
filming because they were going to do the Nightmare film, and that was tough. Wes Craven's actually in the film playing himself, talking
Yeah.
about the,
And her husband, like her boyfriend husband, gets killed by
very
electronic
crazy
sort of
sequence.
Freddy
Yeah.
claw.
Electronic Freddy claw comes alive and
Gloves
just
or whatever,
Yeah.
gloves basically,
Exactly.
slices him up.
which was a prop.
Yeah.
And basically she's been getting all these weird phone calls, and she meets like Bob Shea, who plays himself. They want to do another one, and apparently there's this evil entity that was sort of trapped in the movies, but now sort of likes the Freddy and.
Well,
Herself.
I thought it was that they have to make this movie or something like that,
To sort of keep the thing
keep the thing
bound.
bound. They didn't make the movie, and they weren't making it. It was stuck. In
And then you had Heather Langkamp's kid in the movie.
And the thing was trying to obviously make it so the movie's not made because he had the claw from the life. So the entity is like, I don't want to be bound anymore. I want to come out in the real world. And it is honestly the most effectively disturbing, freaky-looking Freddy, I think, out there.
Yeah.
You know,
The makeup
And
looks more
they even had
disturbing,
Robert
yeah.
Englund, and Robert Englund was doing this painting. I always remember the sequence where Robin Englund is painting this picture of the evil Freddy.
Yeah.
And that's when you first see what the Freddy possibly looked like.
And I liked the touch they threw on him with the trench coat. I kind of liked that touch they threw on him, gave him more of a thing. And then once again...
See the muscles in his head. He looked more demonic.
He did look more demonic. And when Freddy finally shows up, in there, he's not jokes. He's more menacing. He's serious. The whole thing was, miss me! I like that.
Absolutely more terrifying. The most terrifying Freddy, I think, in the franchise.
Yeah, and then but pretty much, I would rank him up there with the first movie almost, though. I mean, I guess maybe that's what Wes was trying to do, was trying to go a little bit back to that. Not so much with the jokes and the kills.
Chick, the girl who was in the first film, right? That got dragged up the ceiling.
Yeah.
Well, they said the same actress, but they do the same kill.
But that kill to me was more disturbing though, because I liked that character, because she was the baby, she was the girl that was taking care of the kid that was artistic, and is at a hospital, and the kid witnesses this. What happened?
He wasn't autistic.
Well, what was he then? Was the kid disturbed or something? I know he couldn't. I don't know. He had some problems.
He was having problems with sleeping because Freddy was
trying to get into him.
He was autistic in Mercury Rising.
Mercury Rising. Yeah, same actor. Yeah, from Mercury Rising. That's right.
Same kid in Pet Cemetery, or
no?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was a little younger. He's gonna be on that documentary, right?
DK Hughes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that scene where the girl gets killed in the hospital and Freddy torments the kid, he goes, "Hey, you ever play Skin a Cat?"
Shows up. It's I don't know.
It's disturbing though, because the kid witnesses this though. It's more worse than when Tina dies in the first movie.
The first time you see the film and Freddy shows up in that surgical uniform with that clear mask or whatever, it's fucking
What I like about the movie, it has a smart script.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Brilliant script.
I thought Heather Langenkamp
she gave a good performance, because it's funny now. This movie came out in 1994, right? Now, when I seen advertisements for this film and behind the scenes of it, I don't know. I wasn't
very clever.
It was clever. When I looked at it, I was going, "But what is this? A movie within the movie? What? I don't get it." And then, years later, years later. Like in 2002, 2003, one night I'm flicking through channels on IFC channel.
The trailer, you said, "Fuck this,"
because I don't know, it was confusing to me.
I'm not seeing it.
It's not that it was disturbing. It's like, what is this about? I don't get it. A movie within a movie. I didn't get it. So then, around 2003, one night on Saturday night, I was flicking through IFC. It was an IFC channel, which they show a whole movie unedited, and they were giving when Freddy vs. Jason was out. So they were giving Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And I caught New Nightmare from the beginning. I got into the story. I'm like, wow, that's original. I like that. It's the movie within the film. Now I understand what Wes is saying, And I got into Heather Langenkamp again. Granted, she's not Nancy. She's playing herself, but I liked that idea. That
John Saxon.
In there.
My favorite sequences is when there's multiple Freddys. That sequence where you have all the different Freddys. I think into the car crash, something like that. There's
I think that was in the trailer.
Okay.
Oh yeah, in the trailer there's a split second. Yeah. I guess there's a deleted scene when Heather's running for her kid, and right before she kneels down and the semi truck goes over her.
Yeah.
I
think in the trailer's split second there's a bunch of Freddys.
Oh yeah?
I don't know why that was cut out, because
it's in the trailer for a split second.
There's a still photo of it in the novelization by David Bergertino, which is just as brilliant as the movie.
Wow.
Now, if you guys get a chance, try to find the novelization.
The novelization that actually stayed honest to the movie. Wow. It's amazing.
It's even more strange, okay?
Wow.
Because here's the thing. It goes back into the realm of the film, okay, the script. But it also goes in these segments about the writer himself while he's writing the freaking book. In the real world, all this stuff that's happening in the film is supposedly happening in the writer's world too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a really mindfuck of a book, because you're reading it and you're seeing all this stuff happen, and the writer himself is inserting his thing, and he ends up getting fucked by Freddy, I think, later in the book, which is really crazy. And you have these news articles that are actually in the book, where they just throw in these fake news articles or whatever about what's going on, the earthquake. You have the author himself talking about, yeah, there's an earthquake going around over here. I don't know why. Something bad's going to happen.
There's the whole thing about earthquake in the movie, I remember. The whole thing with earthquakes.
Yeah, it's a really... I was reading this book. I got it from Goodwill, and I was like... I got it at the same time I got Child's Play 2, the novel, and I was like... Holy shit.
Well, they made it, like...
Imaginative book
before the big earthquake that happened there.
Oh, yeah? Oh.
I remember one little tidbit. So Wes Craven had actually asked Johnny Depp to make a role.
I know.
But he was too afraid to ask, and I think later on Johnny Depp was like, "Oh, I would have done it."
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, Johnny Depp seemed like a guy that, I don't know, like when it comes to certain stuff, like to go back to little movies, he wouldn't mind doing it. I guess if the price is right or if he's got time, you know.
I don't think he would have needed that much money to timer. He probably would have done it anyway to be just in the
The price is right.
The price is right, yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean, he did it with Freddy's Dead. He didn't mind, you know.
The climax is scary.
Because it's suspenseful, the whole thing, you know, she's trying to get to her son, and, you know, granted, okay, she's not getting booby traps and none like that, but still, I mean, she's facing evil one-on-one with Freddy, and okay, I know the CGI shot where you see Freddy die, but...
The funhouse quality to it, that sequence with Freddy's wide open mouth.
Yeah.
I do like the scene before, like, when she's under the bed and she goes down that long tunnel.
Yeah, I like that scene
Pretty
too.
cool.
Yeah.
What about the kid? The kid when he starts acting weird. That creeps me out when he starts...
I hated the kid, though.
Hated Nico Hughes?
I did not like him.
Well, I felt the opposite. I felt he was alright. He was better than the kid they had in 5.
Cause that was the same. I had the same reaction.
I thought he was better than the kid in 5.
I wasn't annoyed because I knew about that kid in Pet Sematary.
Well, I knew about him too, but he was more cute in Pet Sematary before he got ran over.
That's fucked up.
In Pet Sematary after he got ran over, so...
That's fucked up. He was cute before he got ran over? Wow.
That's what I said before he got ran over.
Is he cute afterwards?
No, he's evil.
Oh, man.
I just...
But I enjoyed this movie. I
mean... a little bit, because some of the wide shots when she's falling down the waterfall, I thought it was a bad special effect.
Yeah.
But, I mean... You know, granted, it was sort of, I don't know.
I think it's the last truly good Freddy.
I agree. It's Freddy, it's Wes Craven's, I think.
Jason just isn't I don't think it's really a Freddy. I can't consider it.
Well, this film, I would say, in my opinion, that it's Wes Craven's official way of putting it into the Nightmare on Elm Street the right way. I mean, Freddy's Dead it's fun, but this one, he tried to go back to a thriller, to a good idea, you know, get the juices flowing and bring it.
It is the last one.
Yeah.
Now that
the remake. Yeah, exactly. Because Freddy vs. Jason, that's a different world, pretty much. I mean, on its own from both of the franchises. But I enjoyed this film. I really do, wholeheartedly. I mean, Heather Langenkamp was great. It's good to see her come back. You know, her performance was good because I bought her. You know, in this character.
It's just the idea is just so innovative.
Robert Englund is back. He's scarier. He's disturbing. Kind of like the way he was in the first movie, except not that much in the shadows, though. And I like that the costume touch they threw on him with the trench coat.
And the organic claws.
Oh, that's right. The claws with the skeleton, which I think... I'm not sure. I always felt that I was with the design that Wes always wanted to do. Because in the poster to the original movie, it shows that glove. If you think about it, the poster is that glove with the skull, like the skeleton. It's a better glove. I like that glove compared to the one they got in the fucking new movie. You know, this glove is better. You know,
it's bigger than his fucking head.
Well, no, it was measured the right way. It wasn't like a giant fucking power glove type of shit.
Like the new one, it's bigger than his fucking.
It looked like a catcher's mitt, man, like a baseball glove. You know, but I guess we're gonna get to that next. But for this one. The hands down, I know when I first saw the trailer, I bashed it because I didn't understand it. And then when I saw it late night, years later,
you're like, fuck this movie? What the fuck is this?
I was like,
shit?
well, what is this? I don't get it. And the behind the scenes didn't help me as well. Like, this really happened. Wow, you know.
Story. My mom's friend Troy, real quick. He first saw this really bad.
The famous Troy. Go ahead.
Original teaser trailer for Aliens, the very first one, where it didn't show that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show the alien. It showed a bunch of random shots of the
Yeah.
ship and showed that. That's the first trailer he saw. So it was like, oh, this is like shit.
Oh no.
So he didn't see it. He didn't see it until he heard the word of mouth. They're like, dude, this movie's awesome. He's like, the trailer sucked. What are you, high? He goes see this movie now.
Oh, you finally seen it?
Yeah, he did. He was like, I can't believe I did. Because he didn't even catch it in theaters. He saw it when it was on, like, rental.
God.
And my mom actually saw Aliens in the theater with my dad, and she actually got heart palpitations when she was watching the movie, which means when your heart speeds up really quickly. And
Well, the movie is an adrenaline rush.
That
I mean,
movie, though. She'll watch it, though. She'll
Yeah.
be like, I'll tell her about it. Aren't you going to know? She's like...
I mean, I love Aliens. I really do. It's the last good Alien film, in my humble opinion, from the franchise. Aliens, I mean.
Yeah, like, I think this is the last good Nightmare film, but it is the last film of the franchise. I'm not considering this new one part of the franchise.
Me neither.
So,
If I have to rate New Nightmare, hands down, I'd give it 10 out of 10, because it went for an original idea. It took away the goofiness of Freddy and took it to a serious zone. Heather Langenkamp coming back as herself as a good idea. Yeah. I love it. I hope to get it with that box set.
Yeah.
It's a solid movie.
Yeah.
I was rated out of 4. I give it 4 out of 4 because it's just so innovative.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
it's one of the few films that when I first saw it afterwards, I was just blown away. I was like, holy motherfucker.
Well, I was surprised. I felt guilty. Like, I can't believe I didn't see this in the theater. Fuck, you know? Shit.
Fantastic idea. That's just really well executed. And the whole thing where you have Wes Craven talking about the film itself. And
then that sequence where Wes Craven's talking to Heather about the whole sequence. You see the score that plays in the background, and then while he looks at the computer, you see the lines of what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's a good sequence, with the score playing.
Really I love that sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also really like Robert Englund, seeing him his eccentric self, painting and talking about how...
And how he dresses up as a regular Freddy for the fans. And
how it screws him up. Like, he was talking about how the character is just... it's hard to play. Didn't he talk about that too, where it's like psychologically...
No, I don't remember that.
Me neither.
But...
Well, they talked about that briefly in the novel, so I guess
I know there was a thing where Nancy was talking to, not Nancy, Heather Langenkamp was talking to Robert about something about dreams and stuff, or phone calls, and he's painting, he's like, concerned, being regular Robert, He goes, but how did he look? And how did he look in your dream? More scarier, right? And he's painting, and he realizes he painted Freddy, and stuff like that. I wonder if he really paints. I heard stories, somebody tell me he paints.
He does. He actually does. I think he sold some paintings. And
oh, that's cool. So. Him and Sly Stallone paints too, ironically, yeah.
Some of his paintings are...
Yeah, amazing.
Unfortunately, it wasn't that big of a hit.
Really?
That's
sad. That's sad. I mean, compared to Freddy's Dead, come on. I mean, it's...
Made $18 million.
But I can say...
94 was not a very good year for films, to be honest. If I look back at 94... And looking back at it, really any movie that I really honestly think, what was the biggest hit of that year?
You had Speed. I mean, no, actually, the start of the year, 1994.
Speed, True Lies.
The Crow.
Lion King.
Yeah.
The Crow. Right. The Crow made some money.
I kind of just got, I don't know, but
The Crow. I remember The Crow. Speed. Forrest Gump. Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction. Don't forget Pulp Fiction. Yeah, that made money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
The Mask.
I just completely forgot about that year because I was, I was still a kid, so it's not like I remember anything that came out.
I remember I was already 14.
They released it at the wrong time. Like, when did they release The Nightmare?
October, I think.
Like, what?
I think it was October. I remember it was an October release.
October.
Yeah.
It's usually not a good time.
The guy who edited it is Patrick Lussier.
Who, what?
Patrick Lussier, he edited it. The guy who did My Bloody Valentine 3D, directed that.
Oh, he actually did the editing.
My Bloody Valentine 3D, so...
Wow.
Well,
yeah, he was an editor on this.
Well, that's good.
You already said your final thoughts, right, man, on this film, right?
No, but I can now.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah,
Go for it.
I agree wholeheartedly. It's just a solid flick. I hate the little kid, but
what annoyed you so much about it?
he was just not likable. It was just almost there, like shitty little voice he did when he was possessed, and as like.
All right, I gotta admit, now looking back at that,
I don't know, I just something about the kid just rubbed me the wrong way.
It's kind of annoying.
Kicked him like a field goal or something. But
kicking through the field goal post, like
yeah, takes right to dots. But I mean, I like the film. It's solid, great script, good score, good cast. I mean, I like the film. I mean, the third act, a little bit in the fairy tale. I guess that was the whole point, because I liked it more when it was in the real world. But it's still a good movie.
Yeah.
And I recommend fans of this film of Freddy to please, if you can find the copy of New Nightmare by David Bergantino. I mean, it's just crazy shit. I mean, I've never read a book where you have the author talk about himself, about the situations that are happening in the film within a book. It's a mindfuck that I can't even explain that very well. You just have to read it. But, yeah. Next we got, regrettably...
Oh, God. Well, the movie...
Coming out April... Well, we can talk about Freddy vs. Jason.
We have to talk about that. That's
Alright.
Freddy.
Even though it's not connected to the franchise, why not? I mean, we delayed the thing there.
It's still a Freddy. It's still Robert Englund.
All right.
Freddy vs. Jason's a film that...
I saw it in the theater, actually. This one I seen in the theater.
I didn't see it in theater either. I saw it on...
I saw it in the theater, and it blew me away.
And... Alright, it has its moments. It's fun. Freddy, I just don't like the weird lighting techniques in this film. There's something about, the whole thing when Freddy's showing up, it's backdropped with red.
I like that.
It's interesting looking. I don't care for that. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I don't like that kind of weird lighting technique. That kind of direction.
Wrong to you because he did Bride of Chucky.
Yeah, that's why.
I don't like Bride of Chucky, so maybe that's why. I mean, maybe that's why.
Oh, you don't like Bride of Chucky?
I like parts of it.
Okay.
Better than Seed of Chucky.
Yeah, Seed of Chucky sucked. I like Bride of Chucky better though.
It's like a step above Child's Play 3. Child's Play 3 has its moments. It does not have enough time to build on it. If it had a better time, the idea in a military school is a good idea, alright? But they did not have enough time to set it up, so you had a crappy looking Chucky doll that looked terrible. And terrible.
With that dubbing that just gets delayed at times. The dubbing on the animatronic.
And the ending had elements, though. The Funhouse thing was kind of a decent climax. But anyway, Freddy vs. Jason's a film that I honestly, I don't really remember it all that much. So I don't really remember it all that much. And what I've seen, it just seemed like, I don't know the word I want to use, preppy, kind of. For me, honestly, yes. I mean, I'm not gonna be blatantly, I rank that right up there with Part 5 for me because I just don't like it. It's not the type of direction I enjoy. Some of the death scenes are good, but not. Freddy just seems. I just don't like this modern style camera work. That you saw in The Ring or something like that. It's just something about this modern style of camera work. There's frenetic editing, and there's a couple sequences I do like. The whole thing with, showing the air canisters or whatever with Freddy and Jason.
Yeah.
And the climax at the end was good. I think the actors, some of them suck. And I can't exactly remember. It's just a film I just don't remember.
Well,
honestly,
I'll give my own 2 cents.
Yeah.
I saw this in the theater. I was really looking forward to it. Now, granted, I hate the fact they didn't get Kane Hodder.
That's true.
Which was bullshit.
Ken Cruiser was just.
I don't know. I don't know if it. Everybody blames the other person. Ronnie, you.
That's another reason. I don't like the way Jason looks either. I think he's the one of the.
I didn't mind Ken Cruiser. It's just if it was Kane Hodder, it would have been perfect.
It would have been the real Jason, I feel.
I don't know. Ken Cruiser he looked too thin to me to play Jason.
He's too tall. What's wrong with that? He's just too tall.
I don't know. To me, I never really had a problem with anyone playing Jason. It's just a guy in a hockey mask.
Yeah.
It's just his actions.
That's the problem with Halloween, Michael Myers, 7-foot Tyler Mane, like some little blonde kid's gonna grow into some 7-foot.
Well, yeah, because Michael Myers is white, but Jason's a shark, so.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's alright.
But I don't know. I saw this in the theater, and I'm like, okay. Granted, there's problems. There's no. The cast sucks.
That's one problem I have with it.
Kelly Rowland, Jason Ritter, always smiles.
You always smile.
I remember that, too. He's like, yeah, come and get it, Jason. Ha.
He never fucking scowls. He smiles.
Yeah.
I don't know why. He just can't fucking close his mouth shut for some reason. I've always been stuck in too much and he can't anymore. I don't know what.
Yeah.
But Jason Ritter needs to shut up and, frown or something.
Is he the son of
John Ritter? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's not even close to the same comedian as his dad, so.
Well, maybe he don't have that much of the training like, John
his
has,
dad smiles a lot, too, if you think about it.
Yeah, but John is a pro, though.
Yeah.
John Ritter can do drama like Stephen King's It.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the score's forgettable by Brian Revell.
I remember it, yeah.
Forget.
Brian Revell does a lot of scores that sound the same. To be honest, he does a lot of scores.
He did the score for The Crow, I remember, Brian Revell.
Well, he's doing the Pirates of the Caribbean score, which sounds the same with a lot of some of his other scores, too. So
those are probably my main three problems. The cast, the score, and Kate Hodder.
Yeah, I agree. Those are my problems, too, ironically. Same three problems.
Entertaining, I gotta admit, but I just haven't seen it in a long time, so it's not really fresh on my mind.
But the thing is with me,
I've only seen it like once, and that was like 5 years ago. I mean, that's kind of.
I think the reason I like it so much is, first off, I never thought the idea would ever happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the ideas that they had previously were all shitty.
Yeah.
People make fun of the script, but I thought this was a decent script in the fact that Freddy needs victims.
I did like that part.
So I needed Jason to make people scared. I mean, the other ideas they had was like fucking what? It was. I don't know if anyone even remembers like the.
I remember there was the idea that Adam Marcus had, the one that he talked about how both of them are in hell, and I guess the devil tells, Freddy and Jason, whoever brings me the souls of Tommy Jarvis.
Oh yeah, it's more of a tie-in to Jason Goes to Hell.
Something like that. Whoever brings me the souls of Tommy Jarvis, which is stupid now. Nancy died, and I think who else? I think Tina. Bring me their souls, and I'll grant whoever immortality. But the problem is, every time Freddy or Jason approaches these souls, they end up in clashing with each other. That's what Adam Marcus's idea was, but nobody listened to Adam Marcus because people were pissed off about Jason Goes to Hell. I remember that idea and stuff. So
I'm trying to think of the other idea. They were just very shitty, like. Damn it,
I think didn't John Carl Biegler had an idea too? John Carl Biegler?
Freddy versus Jason in a gladiatorium arena or something like that.
I remember when it was like they fought in a mall.
A mall? Damn. That's when I saw that at Waxwork too. Yeah. No, but there was one they were telling me about one time that is a court case. That is actually done in flashbacks and stuff, like a court case.
What?
Like a Law and Order case. I know Matt was telling me about that. Remember, Matt?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
It was a while back.
Find something online that has all the ideas.
Were they on fucking drugs about a court case? Yeah, this is a great idea.
Like a Law and Order type of thing. Like it takes place in recollection or whatever. It's weird.
Yeah,
I don't know.
This is what it's like. Oh man, whew. Good. That's getting good to ask here. Well, we're talking about Freddy vs. Jason, right? Okay.
Let's watch Law and Order, get some ideas.
I know it's on the special features of the DVD where they go through all the crazy script ideas. Like there was one where there was a Freddy cult.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the Freddy cult.
They had the girl's boyfriend threw her boyfriend was killed and threw his heart into the lake, and Jason was sort of like a good guy.
Like I said, it's like they must have been smoking like.
That's what I mean. Like all these crazy ideas, and I'm like. you're making fun of the idea of this? You should have heard what the other ideas were.
What about this? What about like
one was like Freddy. It took place
and Jason in a courtroom. Can you imagine that?
I think that was the one that took
objection. Freddy and Jason, like they're suing each other or something.
No, it wasn't like they were suing. It was like a recollection, kind of like they did with the exorcism of Emily Rose, like that. It was kind of like they had victims talk about the story of Freddy and Jason fighting.
They had victims talk about the stories. I mean, isn't that a good idea? I mean, maybe it's just the hash talking, but that sounds like it might be interesting. I know it made a good film.
I don't know.
It sounds like they literally were just having some fucking pot party, just coming up with random shit ideas.
I don't know.
Let's throw Freddy's heart in the lake and bring Jason back to life.
Yeah, they use a lot of that.
Freddy Super Jason.
Can you
imagine that? Freddy and Jason in one being. Super Freddy Jason.
Well, to beat the purpose of the verses, though.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it was a lot of crazy ideas. I mean, if people have the DVD, it's on the DVD.
I remember at one time I'm gonna be like Jason versus Leatherface because there was a comic based on that, and then it turned into Jason versus Freddy versus Jason. So like Leatherface, nobody remembers Leatherface after New Generations.
Yeah. But my thoughts of the film is I saw this in the theater, and I remember the trailer for the film because the trailer was badass. In 1980, Fear was born. In 1984, the Nightmare begun. In 2003, I think it says something about these two would meet or whatever. Winner takes all. I don't remember what that last part was, but
I like the whole thing, which is like place your bets.
That's one thing. The girl, I mean, the cast, I agree with Mike. They half-assed. I mean,
yes.
The only one cast member I kind of liked it was the Christopher Marquette character, the nerd. But he gets killed off in a stupid way, though. I mean, that's it. And then Jason Ritter doesn't have nothing on his father. His father's a better actor than him. You know, that girl wasn't Monica Keener, I think her name was. She has a nice rack, but that's about it. You don't see it. Kelly Rowland was just there just for the name because she was coming off from Destiny's Child, and that's it.
I don't even like how Jason comes back to life. It's like some wire foo shit, like it's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Jason to me.
You know.
Like,
but I gotta hand it to you. I did enjoy
when he breaks out of the lake. You know the whole thing where he jumps out of the lake.
Oh, Freddy?
I remember being some
jumps out of the lake. Jason.
Freddy jumps out. I remember. Freddy jumped out of the lake. I remember in that dream sequence.
I thought Jason actually came out of the lake in the trailer sequence. I remember something about Jason coming out of the lake.
No, Jason is he's dead from Jason Goes to Hell. He's like buried.
Yeah.
He slowly comes back and stands up.
But the film, like I was saying, I mean, I don't hate this movie because I know this film. I always would think it would never happen, and then when I found out it was finally happening, you know, yes, I was upset that Kane Hodder was not coming back because of fucking Ronnie Yu being an asshole. Because, you know, Sean Cunningham admits that he wanted Jason, he wanted Kane to do it, but...
To be completely honest,
you know,
I would rather have seen another just straight along Jason film. I mean, I'm not saying Freddy vs. Jason is not a good idea, I'm just saying I don't feel it could have been a lot better and it was pretty disappointing in my opinion.
Oh, here it is. Went through countless number of scripts. The problem with all of these scripts is that the writer kept trying to turn the film into a very complicated story. Don't even ask about the various final Freddy vs. Jason fights. A boxing match in one script.
Oh no.
Freddy and Jason versus the Devil, and many other stupid ideas. Scripts were similar to outlandish, and some even tried to make it more like New Nightmare, where the Friday the 13th films were based off a real person named Jason Voorhees. And where a demented teen was possessed by the demon Freddy from New Nightmare.
What the fuck?
All in all, these scripts were critically trashed and rightfully trashed.
Of course.
Let's see. Yeah, one time where Freddy and Jason was fighting in a shopping mall. Yes, that's true. I mean...
I want that. No.
I'm sure you can go online, folks, and find all these other ideas, but... The reason
Freddy needs a new sweater or something like that.
What you were saying, Matt?
Was the last one?
I was just saying the reason I enjoy the film so much is that I liked the way the film looked. It looked like it had a budget. I liked the direction. It was energetic. I liked the gore.
Yeah.
It actually had some gore.
I gotta admit, you got the gore. The scene when he's still in the bed, folds up the bed on him. Was that Jason?
Yeah, that was Jason. Yeah, when he crushes the guy with the bed. That was a good scene.
Most importantly, it's that the end fight actually
kicked
was
ass.
good.
Yeah.
It was.
It wasn't. I wasn't let down in the end fight, and that's a big, tall order.
Yeah.
That's one of the solid parts of the film.
And it builds up. It actually builds up to that because the whole thing where the lead girl goes into the dream world, and we see Jason being tormented as a child, and actually when he drowns in the dream world, Freddy actually drowns him. So now, in a weird way, now you're picking a side. And I gotta admit, I think I talked about this before when I sized up the franchises. I'm a Jason man. I mean, I love Freddy. Freddy's number 3. Jason's number 2 because number 1 is Leatherface. But I'm a Jason man. And then when that scene comes where she revives him and the house is on fire and everything like that, I'm like, yeah, these two are gonna fucking go at it. And the fight is a knockout brawl, no holds barred, brutal. Freddy using the glove. Jason picking up Freddy, pushing him through the glass. I liked it that.
It's a solid fight. It's a very solid fight.
I mean, one scene I remember that I wasn't too crazy about was a wire-like scene which Freddy's elbowing Jason like a wrestler, almost like a wire shit. Then he gets pushed. But I liked it what Freddy did with the thing with the little tanks or whatever. You see, like rocket launcher, pew, 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 fire one, like that. But I enjoyed the fight. The fight saved the film, and I can't hate on the film for that. I mean. Yes, I do wish it was Kane Hodder. Yes, but still.
I thought it had some good visuals, some good gore. The guy's head just popping off when his kid sits next.
Leave me alone, you stupid cat! Come on.
Pussy attacking Mike.
Yeah,
that
pussy.
Was a good part
yeah.
Of the movie. But yeah, I mean, Freddy vs. Jason.
It was a hairy one too, right, Mike?
Freddy vs. Jason is very imperfect. I mean, but with a film like this, there was a lot of hype with it. I don't think you could always get it perfect. It's too big of a thing, that people were looking forward to for a decade at least.
Yeah,
it can't be perfect.
But for a try, it's better than AVP.
Exactly, I agree. I agree, 100%.
I would have loved to see though better cast. If they had a better cast, then it would be a lot. A lot more higher.
How would you guys would have felt if they would have thrown, let's say, I don't know, familiar characters maybe from the Freddy or the Jason films? If they would have thrown Tommy Jarvis in there, or Tina, or let's see, Alice.
The same characters.
It would have depends who they got them for actors. I mean,
no, I'm talking about they actually got the actors to come. They got Laura Park Lincoln, if they got Tom Matthews, if they got,
it would work.
Lisa Wilcox,
Well, like they did in the comic book.
Oh, they did that comic book? Yeah, something like
Jason versus Ash. There's a comic book where
I remember that.
They had Ash, but they had all those.
And that was rumored to be another film too, Freddy vs. Jason versus
But
Ash.
it fell flat, I think. I don't know why. I think it was because of something about the copyright, I guess.
Well, the rights for Evil Dead, probably Universal. Probably
would have happened.
Well, you have 3. Yeah. I mean, you had. I guess Friday 13th's New Line Cinema, but it's who's going to be the top dog?
That's the whole thing. And there was a comic, I think, right?
Yeah, there's more.
I would have liked to see Jason versus Leatherface. That would be interesting.
Well, that would be that. That was my 2 favorites right there. I mean,
that is a comic book, so
who would you want to win that reason?
Let's see. But it depends which Jason is going up against Leatherface. You got zombie Jason or practical Jason? Human Jason. Depends.
Say Kane Hodder.
Well, in the comics.
Well, if it's Kane Hodder. Well, what about in the comics?
Well, in the comic it was zombie Jason. I think.
Well, then if it's zombie Jason, Leatherface is in trouble. I hate to say it because Kane Hodder. I mean,
you have girls who kick zombie Jason's ass. So.
Yeah, but that's girls though. I mean, Leatherface. I don't know. I mean. It'd be a good brawl. It'd be a good brawl. I don't know that.
Leatherface is worse than a girl.
I don't know. I mean, Leatherface is a big motherfucker, man. Which Leatherface? Are we talking about Thomas Hewitt Leatherface or what? Which one? Gunnar Hansen? Part 4? Oh, that doesn't help. Come on. That's not a fucking fight. That's a funeral. Fucking drag queen.
Well, that's the movie you want to see.
No, I want to see if Jason, Kane Hodder Jason versus
Chainsaw Part 4.
I want to see him versus Chainsaw 3 Jason. I mean, Chainsaw 3 Leatherface. Chainsaw 3 Leatherface.
But, yeah, I mean...
Well, I don't know. If I had to bet, I had to call it a draw. I know the family members will get killed by Jason and all that shit.
Yeah.
All of them get. But for the rating for this film, I would give it pretty much 8 out of 10. I mean, it's good film. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's got problems, yes, but I'd rather watch this than Nightmare 5.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's just, it would have helped if you had Kane Hodder and if you had a better teenagers.
Yeah.
Better cast, pretty much.
Other than that, it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, I gotta be blatantly honest. I'm gonna rate it 4 stars. I'll give it 2 because I can't get into this movie.
All right, no problem. Now we're gonna finally do the rant, and pretty much after the rant, call it a wrap.
It hasn't come out yet, but it's going to on the 20th.
The 30th.
Friday.
30th. That's next weekend.
Yeah.
April
Looking forward to
30th.
that.
Remake of
Michael
Batman.
Bay. Well, first of all, Michael Bay didn't do too bad of a job with original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Well,
Friday the 13th.
Maybe.
All right, well, I agree.
Well, it still sucked, but it's not as bad. Friday the 13th was a step. It wasn't that horrible.
Because Friday the 13th, I remember I seen it in the movie theater, and I seen it thanks to Matt's review. Matt reviewed it, and he said it was a good throwback. I said, okay, Matt liked it, so I said, let me go check it out. I seen it, I had fun with it. It wasn't bad. I mean, the DVD is sad because it don't have nothing on it. The killer cut, the extended scenes don't help the movie. No, because the lead girl I didn't like, but Jason being human again, running around, running after people like a mad dog, I enjoyed.
Yeah, I had fun.
I didn't like him setting up traps, though. I hate that.
Well, I like the creativity, though. I like the creativity, the whole thing, that he put a girl in a sleeping bag, he didn't smash her against the thing, which is Kane Hodder's signature, but hung her over the fireplace, which to me was a good
I
kill.
didn't mind him setting traps because
he's a mountain man.
You have all these other inbreds who set traps. So
yeah, it's definitely a better effort. Now this film, the biggest problem for one is that you have a director who has not directed anything else in his entire fucking life except the music video for Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Well, he's directed a lot of music videos.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, that's the most famous one, obviously, because it's
Ozzy Osbourne's Mama, I'm Coming Home.
Mama, I'm coming home. I like that song.
It doesn't matter, though. Those are music videos.
I know, but the song is good, though. I'm saying he should not touch this movie, basically.
But
I don't know.
David Fincher's style, you could see he could do a movie with his Aerosmith video. I mean, that looked like a movie, so it was like, okay, well, that does look like that, honestly.
The problem with this is it looks like a Dread cop.
It looks horrible. Like, it has the same, like I said in Freddy vs. Jason, it has that same red backdrop lighting, which just looks unnatural to me. That's why I don't like it. Because I'm liking
I seen that red backdrop, I remember, in the new TV spots they show, with Freddy in the shadows, and it looks, I don't know.
Well, I'm not bothered by that. I'm bothered by Jackie Earle Haley's look and voice.
What are you screaming for? I haven't even cut you yet.
He looks like Robert Duvall. Have you seen the action figure? He looks like Robert Duvall, for fuck's sake, as Freddy.
It's like a butt face.
Butt face.
A broad-faced Robert Duvall looking motherfucker. That's Robert Duvall. If you look at the action figure, you find a picture of Freddy. It looks like Robert Duvall.
It does.
The other problem is, I don't like the way Freddy Krueger's portrayed before. And a lot of people bash him. Well, not all, a lot of the child molesters act like that when they're confronted. Well, I don't give a shit. Doesn't mean he needs to act like a Martin Short or fucking Clifford all the damn time. Oh, I didn't do nothing. Sounds like a fucking
I'm the greatest kid in the whole wide world. And that shit like fucking Martin Short and Clifford.
That'd be so
But the movie, I feel that, I don't know, it's very touchy because Robert Englund, once again, like we said throughout this whole video, he played Freddy in all 7 films.
Now, here's the problem.
Oh, you want to count Freddy vs. Jason?
I would be okay with this if it was a sequel. The fact that it's a fucking remake pisses me off. Now, if it was a sequel starring Jack or Haley, okay, they're trying to do a different vision of the sequel. I know Robert didn't want to come back, so you have to do something with that.
Well, if people go, oh, he's too old. Well, don't do it. Then.
Don't touch it. Don't fuck with it.
Yeah, exactly. But he did. I think they asked him, but he didn't want to do it.
But I heard a story. What happened was that the reason that they didn't want him to do it because they felt that he made the character campy, which is bullshit. It wasn't their fault. The character was campy. It was the writers,
No, well, this is just about as cheesy having a southern accent that sounds like you walked off the set of Deliverance. I mean, don't worry.
This won't hurt one bit.
I ain't cut you yet. It's like, what are you, some fucking backwoods?
Man, it's kind of sound like he's trying to do the Rorschach voice a little bit, but amplify it. That's what it sounds like he's trying to do. He's trying to use Rorschach.
Southern accent. I keep hearing a distinctive southern twang to Freddy's voice. Doesn't sound right.
Look, the problem I have with it is Jackie O'Haley, to me, is shorter than Robert Englund. Being the glove.
What, 5 foot? How tall is Jackie O'Haley, man?
He's short.
I don't know.
He's short. He seems like he's very short. He don't seem like he's that tall.
He looks so short. Freddy looks so short in this new film, but I can't do the thing.
He is a midget.
There you go.
That's a new look for Freddy midget.
A Freddy midget with a fucking catcher's mitt as a glove. That's what I look like. Catcher's mitt. The glove is bigger than the fucking guy.
Spaceballs. Remember the film Spaceballs, where Lone Star puts his hand on Dark Helmet's head and he's going, I think I could honestly do that with this new Freddy. Just put your hand on top of his head and he'll start playing at you, like some little bitch.
Yeah.
There's claws everywhere, and it's like a mini-me Freddy. Like, is that...
Like, you got Vern Troyer to play fucking Freddy Krueger, pretty much. So you guys, that's why I look at it. I know somebody's gonna get stupid and leave a comment on there. Oh, fuck you guys! The movie hasn't come out yet. Well, I'm sorry. The trailers are not doing nothing for me. If you guys are... Now, if somebody out there is looking forward to seeing this movie, that's fine. You waste your $20 or $30 for that.
The chosen here honestly look like worse actors than Part 5.
And Freddy vs. Jason's cast, pretty much.
Jason. I mean, the freaking blonde chick is like, don't fall. I see.
And the whole thing, they have a reenactment of some of the kills, like the kill with Tina.
I keep watching that damn trailer, reenacting the kill with Tina, the same bathtub sequence with a bigger glove. Oh my god, that is so fucking original. Seriously, let's just make the glove bigger.
Those are dreams, so you can do anything.
Yeah.
So why are you copying?
Exactly. Where's the creativity? There's no creativity. It's just a copy. Even that sequence when the original movie, where Freddy's head goes over the wall where Nancy's sleeping, they do it here in a CGI. Very bad.
Yeah.
It's fake.
It looks very terrible, like a cartoon.
And then the whole thing where they're all like, well, it's a remake. We're trying to stay in tone with the original. Look at John Carpenter's The Thing, The Blob, and The Fly. Those are nothing like the original films.
Look at Dawn of the Dead remake. I'll be bold enough to say, look at Dawn of the Dead remake. Okay, the only thing different. Okay, Matt's movie. The only thing different about Dawn of the Dead remake is that it takes place in the mall, fine, but you have no, not Zombie Baby. You have a bigger cast. You have a more ensemble instead of just Ving Rhames. I mean, instead of just 4 people like you had in the original movie, Dawn of the Dead, you have a little more people in the mall.
Yeah.
You got Ty Burrell. You got.
I heard about the remake and the script treatment was the fact that it's not even the original either, where they do sleep spurts, or they do power naps to try to, I don't know.
And the whole thing with the girl looking up a lot of kids on the internet who can't sleep. Wow, that's original. The whole thing like that. I heard they had to do some reshoots.
But that guy, who's that actor? The kid is like, I can't sleep. I've tried for.
That's that kid from the Haunting in Connecticut or whatever. Like that same actor or whatever. Looks like him or whatever.
And the full CGI.
Your buddy from Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Oh yeah, Thomas Decker's there. Yeah, Thomas Decker. I mean, he's there.
Are you kind of upset about that, Efree?
Not really. I look at it this way. He probably needs to pay some bills. Because the show is not on no more, so.
Well, the whole thing.
I'm willing to guess that he gets killed off. That's what I'm willing to guess. Because He got killed off, I heard, in that movie,
she daydreams or whatever.
Laid to Rest, he got killed off.
Disintegrates into black, whatever fucking pieces of shit and CGI in that trailer. It's just like, oh my god, I did a black hole. Ah!
Well, okay, think about it. Okay, you're a fan of the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's there to look forward to this? And let me.
The only thing I can say, okay, I look forward. Okay, go, man.
I was gonna say, okay, what are we to look forward to? Okay, having our main guy replaced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By someone who.
I think it's an underrated actor.
But that's not the right part for him, though. I mean, I don't think he's, touching Freddy, no.
Trying to be different and it's going to come off silly. CGI. Same stuff, different day.
Yeah.
And probably a shitty score. It's not going to. They probably won't even use the theme.
Yeah.
If they do, fine, but it's still the copy.
It's probably gonna be some stupid little dun, dun, dun.
I'm willing to bet they get Steve Jablonsky to do the score, because they got Steve Jablonsky to do the score for the Friday 13 reboot. They might get him again. You see? There you go. They're gonna get him.
They do say Charles Bernstein theme, so maybe they'll have the theme.
Maybe he'll do his rendition of the theme.
I didn't like the score to Friday 13th. I thought it was forgettable.
Yeah, I agree.
But the remake, I mean. But I don't know, I don't see any appeal to it.
It just looks, honestly, I can't see anything that makes me want to go out and see this one.
No, me neither.
That's the whole point of marketing, people. The trailers, to get you into the theater. And we have 3 people here who, they make us want to stay away.
Exactly.
I mean, I work at the movie theater, too. And I'm like...
Either it's a shitty marketing campaign or the film's bad. I mean...
Exactly.
At least
I heard the movie had to do reshoots. So that's a bad sign. You see, they had to do reshoots.
Reshoots, folks.
That's a bad sign.
See, on your hands. Now, I hate the design of Freddy. That's the worst part. Now, I heard all the excuses. Who's trying to make it look more like a real realistic burn victim? Does he have to look like a freaking frog? A freaking lizard?
Like Robert Duvall, like you said.
Yeah, like what is Robert Duvall in makeup? But honestly, seriously, who the fuck cares what he looks like when he kills you in your fucking dreams? Realism is thrown out the fucking window anyway. So, I understand you're trying to do something different. Okay, alright. But it looks like shit. I'm sorry. It looks terrible.
It does.
And it looks even worse when I'm looking at the action figure, which I saw at fucking Suncoast this morning.
Oh, is that there already?
Oh,
damn.
God, that was... So,
yeah,
I
don't feel no hope about
Me neither.
And when I see the poster, I keep thinking Pumpkinhead for some damn reason. I don't know why. Can you imagine Pumpkinhead in a human form walking around? That sort of
everybody. I've shown when I went. I think I took my mom to go see Clash of the Titans, and we seen the trailer for Nightmare. First thing she told me was is Robert Englund dead or something? And she goes, and I go, no, why? Cause why isn't he doing this one? I said, cause there's a remake. And she told me, but that was from 1984. That's not that old. That's still good. Why did they do that? I said, because they're stupid. And she goes, I agree. They're a bunch of ass. She even said they're a bunch of assholes for touching this.
Exactly.
And then the big billboard poster, it doesn't help. The advertisement, it does not get me interested. TV spots annoy the fuck out of me.
The TV spots look dumb.
They don't look interesting.
The cast looks like they picked them up out of, I don't know, some high school in California. In Beverly Hills.
I know the one actor that's in there is going to get killed off. I know that for a fact, because he got killed off and laid to rest, from what I heard. He's going to get killed off here, so I'm not surprised about that. Big surprise. And he's probably going to get a bigger check for it, too.
I hate the tagline. Welcome to your new nightmare.
It's like you're giving the middle finger to the old fans. Like, this is your new nightmare. Fuck Robert. That's what they're trying to say,
And also, think about it. There's already a movie called New Nightmare, and didn't already kind of use the same tagline.
Yeah. They figured, they didn't make no money. No one's gonna remember that bullshit. Yeah. The only thing I can say that can happen about this film is that, that thanks to this movie now.
The credit for that it's rated R.
Okay.
At least it's not PG-13.
But it's gonna be half-assed effects, Mike. It's gonna be CGI shit. But like I was saying, the only thing I can. Okay, but the only thing I can say about this film that could come out of it is that new documentary. That's it.
Yes.
Because if this movie had not been conceived, they would not do that new documentary. The full-out one. That's it.
By Warner Brothers anyway. That's being released by an independent company. And Warner Brothers is releasing a shit DVD, folks. Do not buy this box set because it wastes your fucking money.
If I can find the original set, I'll find that one.
It's just 8 films.
Just 8 films with nothing. Just no special features, no new special features.
1 through New Nightmare, and then Freddy.
No trailers. No fucking commentary. It's just the movies.
It's sad.
It's a fucking waste of your time. Warner Brothers sucks at making special edition DVDs other than Batman and Superman, and Blade Runner, because Poltergeist is an insult. I already know about that.
I heard Beetlejuice is worse. Beetlejuice got cartoons in it. Beetlejuice is worse, I heard.
Commentary, that's it. A commentary and a cartoon. The commentary is already on the original one.
Yeah.
But the New Nightmare, alright, whatever. The fucking shitty excuse for an Elm Street movie. I probably end up seeing it for free.
I feel sorry for you if you guys see that for free, man.
And I honestly want to check it out so I can really see how really bad it is. And I'll just be completely honest. The trailer looks like shit, but there have been some movies that I've seen that the trailers have been god-awful, horrible, bad trailers. The film's actually been pretty decent, but I'm not saying this is going to be any good. I'm just saying it might not be the worst film of all time. I hate the idea. I think it's fucking pointless. I don't think the original needed to be even fucked with, and I think Wes Craven agrees with that. But he's so low on cash, he needs to fucking do something. Sad, like John Carpenter has to be like, oh, okay, you can do a prequel to the thing, whatever.
Wes Craven probably figures, why should I work all months trying to do a movie and stuff when I could just pick up a check in 5 minutes? That's probably what it is.
Exactly.
Well, Wes Craven, he didn't want this.
Oh, he didn't want it?
Yeah,
Oh.
I know. Of course he did.
I think mainly just they didn't use him as a consultant.
I mean, that's why.
Have something left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fuck this movie.
Yeah, indeed.
I don't know what to say.
Suck. It's gonna blow,
Donkey.
gold steel-plated dick.
Mine's gold-plated dick.
He said it's gonna blow it.
Oh, God. This movie could suck my pulse rifle. There you go. Oh, man.
I'm gonna take these. I'm gonna take the He-Man sword of power and jam it up the guy's
I know it looks pretty grim for Elm Street fans, but like I said before, we do have one glimmer of hope. Never Sleep Again, the Elm Street Legacy on
That's
May 4th.
That's it.
4 discs.
These are the features. First off, it's over 100 key cast and crew interviewed. Never before seen photos, behind the scenes footage, publicity materials, interviews with people including Wes Craven, Robert Englund, Heather Langenkamp, Jack Shoulder, Mark Patton, Kim Myers, Chuck Russell, Jennifer Rubin, Rennie Harlan, Lisa Wilcox, Tuesday Night, Stephen Hopkins, Kelly Jo Minter, Rachel Talalay, Lisa Zane, Alice Cooper, Patrick Lussier, Miko Hughes, Monica Tina, Brendan Fletcher, and Ronnie Yu, and many more.
Wow.
And apparently the first disc, the feature is 240 minutes.
Wow.
Disc 2 is 240 minutes and include extended interviews, first look Heather Langenkamp's I Am Nancy, For the Love of the Glove, Fred Heads, the Ultimate Freddy fans, Horror's Hallowed Grounds, Return to Elm Street, where they visit the old Elm Street sets of the first movie.
Cool.
Angry Video Game Nerds review of the game.
Well, that's great they threw that in there.
Expanding
the new game, there's actually making a Robert Elm Street game based on a shitty movie.
That's the old one.
The
old one he did. That's a really good one he did too. I remember that.
Expanding the Elm Street universe, Freddy in comic books and novels.
They'll talk about David Bergantino probably then, and Wes Craven in Nightmare. Right, that's interesting.
The music of the Nightmare, conversations with composers and songwriters.
Okay.
You going to talk about Freddy's Nightmares? Anything?
Let me see. Elm Street's Poster Boy, The Art of Matthew Joseph Peach, A Nightmare on Elm Street in 10 Minutes, Never Sleep Again, the teaser trailer. I'm not sure if they'll talk about it in the... I mean, it's 4 hours.
I hope they at least mention it. I mean, it is.
Well, I remember when they did His Name Was Jason, they did touch on Friday 13th, the series. They didn't go too much in depth with it because they had John D. LeMay there, who happened to be in the Jason Goes to Hell. So I'm sure maybe they'll touch on
Is
maybe
it
that.
being released in stores? Because
I hope so.
Because the DVD box art I saw was by some company I never even heard of, right, man? Some fucking
I'm not sure.
Better be released in stores.
I would think so.
Well,
But I don't know for certain.
well, guys, I guess pretty much getting a little late on my end, so I guess we put in final thoughts about the whole franchise. So
And it's, without a doubt, honestly, my favorite horror franchise. I'd rank it above Jason, all those films, because I saw them first. And I like Freddy because of the kills. They're very imaginative and they're very different compared to most of the other films. Especially, Roach Motel and things like that. I like the character fact that his character kills you in your dreams. It's the best boogeyman in your dreams out there. Fuck Boogeyman, Boogeyman 2, Boogeyman 3, Boogeyman 4, Boogeyman 4 billion. I don't really care. Fuck those damn movies, it suck. It's just I like Freddy Krueger's character. I redecorated my entire bedroom, at Oregon, which they had to take down this stuff because my grandma was like, "Oh, I hate this shit. Oh, this is disturbing." And I printed off on photoglossy paper at home. I printed pictures.
My gold-plated tape.
oh no.
But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I printed off pictures that I found off the internet of Freddy, and I did this little kind of custom cutting thing with these scissors I had. I jaggedly cut the outline, the kind of make a sort of a frame for him. Jaggedly cut it so it looks like I cut him with his gloves, and I would put them on my wall, and I'd have this little background thing for your computer that I printed off that would say above my bed because I'm disturbing like this, with the whole thing with Freddy, the whole thing with like 9, 10, never, that the whole thing 1, 2 minutes, dun, dun, dun. And it has those words on with Freddy on the front, so you don't go to sleep looking at Freddy and be like, "Good night, Freddy." So it's just a character that I heard a lot about, and then when I checked out those DVDs, and I saw Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street back to back, and I was like, well, Nightmare on Elm Street to me just stuck out more to me as a series that's more imaginative, I'm not saying Friday the 13th can't be imaginative, I'm just saying it's more imaginative to me. It's really engrossing. The character is both disturbing, creepy, and can be fun to watch at the same time. And like every franchise, it has its bad films. But that's what you get with a franchise. At least it's not a franchise, useless franchise like The Howling or, Leprechaun. So, it just pisses me off. In fact, we get a remake, and it's just, Robert Englund's shining out. And I just like a lot of things about Nightmare on Elm Street, a lot of things about Freddy, It's a character that I just like. He's my favorite slasher icon, so to speak. So
okay,
that's what I feel about the franchise.
All right.
How about you, Efree?
Well, my thoughts about it is it's number 3 in my faves. I put him up there in the top 3, and next of course Leatherface and Jason. And I grew up with it. Robert Englund is number 1. He played the character to a T. I'm bold enough to say I'm a fan of Dark Freddy and even Freddy, MTV Freddy. At least up to from 1 through 4,
Exactly.
And I understand part 5 has a lot of problems, do I hate it badly like I hate Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4? No, but would I watch it least? Yes. Freddy's Dead, okay, it's goofy. It has its moments to it, but Robert Englund was more on his A game in that one. New Nightmare caught me off guard, and I was pleasantly surprised by it. Freddy vs. Jason, a lot of fun, and the kills in the Nightmare on Elm Street films are creative. You got basic characters, not superhero characters, going up against Freddy and stuff, standing their ground.
Super Freddy.
Going up against Freddy. Regular characters, And the whole thing with the remake, I feel, is an insult. I know people are going to say, But it's just an upgrade. It's just not. Well, I feel it doesn't need an upgrade. If you're looking forward to New Nightmare, it's cool. But don't expect me to go to my theater and run to check it out. Fuck it. I'll wait to cable where I can see it for nothing, which I'm probably not going to see it at all because it looks lame. It does not get my interest going.
Well, basically, guys, just wait for me, I guess.
Well, I'll wait for Mike or whatever, but my bottom line is I'm saying this. The films are classics. Granted, Part 5 has its problems. I'd rather watch 5 than watch...
practical effects.
Okay. I'd rather watch Nightmare 5 than the Sci-Fi Channel stuff. Sci-Fi Channel made for shit movies or whatever. So...
What about the company that...
Well, Asylum? Whatever. I heard bad things about Asylum. I didn't want to get into the Asylum.
I saw one of those DVDs for sale at a pawn shop. So I was like, what the fuck is this? God, I know what he means.
Well, basically, folks, I'm just trying to wrap this up because my eyes are falling asleep here, but... Freddy Krueger and Robert Englund is the man. He's always Robert Freddy fucking Krueger Englund, the main guy.
Freddy Englund.
Freddy Englund, exactly, man. And that's it. Jackie Earle Haley, a good actor, don't get me wrong, but Freddy, that's not the right character he should be fucking with.
Rorschach Haley?
Yeah. Rorschach he owns, but Freddy Krueger, no. And I know Thomas Dekker, TV John Connor's in it, but I know he's going to get killed off because he always gets killed off in the horror movies. He got killed off and laid to rest, I heard, in a pathetic way. He's going to get killed off here in a pathetic way. I know it for a fact.
Laid to Rest is an overrated film, too.
It's overrated. I heard bad things about Destro running around killing people from G.I. Joe.
Destro?
Yeah, so man says. But the films, they're classics. Please, if you haven't seen the originals, please look them up. Before you make your comparisons and go about, campy, whatever. Judge it for yourself, But me, I say good films. They don't deserve to be fucked with, That's all I'm gonna say on the thing. And Matt, you, I guess, say your final thoughts here. And bear in mind, my eyes are closing, so keep it quick, please.
Okay,
bro.
Try to go quick.
All right.
I grew up this franchise. As a kid, it was one of the first horror franchises I grew up with, and it has a special place in my heart. And Robert Englund is a great actor, great villain, great icon,
Definitely.
A lot of imagination, a lot of effects.
Great guy too.
Yeah.
Great guy too.
And
fan friendly as well, from what I hear.
And the films are fun. It's a good franchise. It's one of the better franchises. It's not compared to the other ones. And
Leprechaun.
Yeah, I always will have a special place in my heart for the Freddy films. Later on, I found Jason, and those two are sort of head to head of my favorites. But Freddy Krueger was the first iconic horror film villain. Some people found Dracula, some Frankenstein monster. For me, it was Freddy Krueger. And first time you experience something. So, it's the remake. I know, we don't have to see it. Most of us don't want to see it, won't see it. It's just, you just look back and, have a lot of fond memories, and you don't want anyone screwing up that image.
Exactly.
But anyway, this is Matt, aka Ramble Rap for Life, signing off, and thank you guys for joining us our trip down Freddy Krueger Lane.
Yeah, thank you, people.
Elm Street?
On Elm Street.
Yeah, trip down Elm Street.
Yes.
And of course, I have been joined with these two good buddies.
Alright, likewise, buddy. It's Efree, Sierra 12's here to stay, and our special guest who came in the last minute, but it was always fun having him here, because he gave us some good info and stuff, and that is...
Mike Hickey's OCP Communications. Yeah, this came as a surprise for me, too, because, I just came home from work. Didn't work that long, but I was like, hey, let's see what the guys are doing.
And he was live. We caught him live on here.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
But, this is a great idea, Matt. Wonderful idea.
Well, thank you, Efree.
Thank you, Efree.
Of course, yeah, because it was an idea I just cooked up.
It's a really good idea to do so we can, get the bad taste and kind of, just,
You gotta get a good spit to clear the throat of the movie that's coming out. That's it. Clear our throats.
Give respect to the original film.
Of course, no doubt. You know, instead of just doing a set of reviews, you know, and stuff like that, add them up one by one. Why not just take one night
really like,
and slap it all together and nip it in the butt? You know,
as if someone was remaking like Rambo without Stallone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same sort of thing. Like,
yeah, which I hope that doesn't happen, though. I mean,
some new guy playing Rambo.
Yeah, Matt Damon. No.
Matt Damon is John Rambo in.
I guess as they say, that's all, folks. And thank you everybody for joining us. And whether you're watching this in the daytime or nighttime, I hope you take it easy. And
of course, it's nighttime. It gives a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
Elm Street.
No shit.
That's an Elm Street.
That's it. Ha ha ha.
Down, motherfucker. Good night, everyone.
Alright, good night from the Dream Warriors over here. Okay. Later. Okay. Alright.
Like edit a video, quick little quickie thing.
Yeah.
You know where Peter Weller's going, say, motherfucker. Isn't there a sequence where Freddy blows up in one movie? So
that's in part 6. Yeah. Anyway, good night, folks. I'm off here. Okay. Good night.
See ya.
Good night. Later. Oops.
You can edit that out.
Oops, I forgot to shut off the Windows Movie Maker. Whoops.
Oh.
Shit. Okay, I shut up now. Okay, good night for sure, folks. Effie fucked up. That's why you're tight. Later. Alright, bye bye. Turn off the Windows Movie Maker. Okay.